map. I don't really see how that's going to play out based on what we've seen from the veto. I think coming into this one, Vexed are definitely going to have an uphill battle just straight off the bat. Just looking at the individual skill alone without taking a look at the maps, we know Endpoint are just a lot better, right? And Alex is back. Talk us through why you give them a map, Alex.
Look, Dinko, I just think they've got that Vex spirit still in them, okay? I've seen them at too many Prems in the past lineups just not make it to the final even and just crash out. Look, I think they can win one map. Just in my heart, I want to believe they can win one map, okay?
Okay. Great analysis there. Really feel confident about Vex going forward. But yeah, I think fair enough. You give them one map. It's a possibility based on, Endpoint being a little bit looser coming into this one. 50-50 for the Twitter polls. Now, that is interesting. I was expecting a little bit more of a lopsided showing for Endpoint, but nonetheless, 50-50 coming into this one. I think I don't really agree with Twitter at this one, Alex. But heading into this best of 5, I think I'm looking forward to seeing if there's any signs early on from Vex. I feel like they have to compete straight off the bat. If they get a slow start, they let Endpoint come into this one, getting that momentum, getting confident, allowing the pushes to work out for them. This isn't going to work for Vex. They have to bring the fight to them, and they have to shut down an aggression early on from Endpoint.
That's their best chance for sure. And they've got their map pick to start, right? Inferno, the map they chose to start. If they can have a strong start, that's when you can start to believe in at least a map win for them. Should be a fun one. We're into the grand final. Best of 5 time, Dinko. Let's see if Vex can cause an upset here. It's Endpoint starting on that CT side. Vex starting on the T side of Inferno to kick things off.
Endpoint looking to get things started on this defensive side. They head over towards middle early on. It's Robin peeking out middle, jumping up into the apartments, getting a lot of info for the second mid players that are running up from the T side. Zarx is pushing the buttons today in that observing seat. He'll be covering all the action, catching all of the kills, or as many of them as he can, of course. And well, getting things started. It's a bit of a slower start from Vex. They played early on with a lot of presence being shown second middle, but now they gather with 5 players in Banana.
Mighty Max already falling back. He's going to try and use his utility to slow this down, but even then, the rotate is going to be really far away here. As this exec comes in, Max is going to be in trouble.
Mighty Max is certainly alone here, Alex, so that is a big problem. Now they're going to charge him down with that deep CT smoke, trying to wrap the ruins, trying to get onto this B-bomb site. And Mighty Max in the corner, he hasn't handled it well. He'll go down without a single kill. And so 5v4, good take from Vex so far. I really like this pistol round right off the bat. They get that full stack over towards the A-bomb site, leaving Mighty Max alone. No rotation comes through from Endpoint up until this retake. So we have got a 5v4. No kit, no utility. They've just got to hope for headshots. This is looking quite good for Vex to start things off. Leaf with an initial headshot into the post plan. And now the rest of Endpoint trying to swarm on in, but they're not finding anything. Finally, a fight comes through. But Vex should be winning this out. Kills come through. They just need to hold their post plants, but they're giving them fights. They're peeking everything. And now Endpoint have got it down into a 1v1. Crucial taps the bomb, trying to draw Leaf into the open. And Vex will win the pistol, but they only keep one player alive.
That's the danger of Endpoint, man. Even with a clean site take from Vexed, even with Endpoint not really having many nades for the retake, the shots are still landed because Vex just try and fight together there. But a couple of missed shots from Vexed, all of a sudden, Crucial takes his chances, takes a couple of kills. It's good to see that Vex have clearly come in with some preparation, though. That deep CT smoke was really nice to cut off the rotation to begin with, especially considering Endpoint had 4 players stacked on A. That was the perfect smoke to put down. It really made sure that Endpoint couldn't help Max on the site. It got them that early advantage and an early round win, but now they've got to make sure they don't fall against these pistols.
Vexed about to come on into the A-bomb site. Leaf checking the balcony. Easy first kills coming in from Vexed. Crucial's going to turn around and catch out Dogs. 1 HP for Crucial. He'll start to fall away. At this point, Vex, this is the start they need. You need to win that first pistol. More importantly, need to win the second round because Endpoint are really good at these. We've seen them actually 2 days ago, I think it was, or maybe even yesterday. I can't exactly remember, but I was casting Endpoint versus Gambit, and Endpoint were actually winning these second round buys, with the 4 spies. A big part of that was Flames, actually, with his Deagle. He's a very solid player in those kind of rounds. Robin, also very good on the Deagle. Feel like when Robin has a Deagle in his hands, Alex, you're pretty much guaranteed 1 kill.
Wow, he didn't have a deagle in his hand this time, Dinko. Maybe that was the problem. Just had
It
that
was,
P250.
for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely was the problem.
Also doesn't help that he didn't really get to see anyone in this round. Has to go save on the B site. Mac-10 carried over alongside that pistol, though. So Endpoint can continue to have some more weapons to work with in this next round. And again, Dinko, that means they've got that same opportunity to try and cause a ruckus in this round.
Well, we'll see if they can do it coming into this one. Deagles in the hands of these individual players can be very scary. So, Vex, if they get over the hurdle here, if they get this 3-0 start, they can feel confident about themselves heading into that first gun round. But Endpoint will definitely look to try and take the battle to them in this one. Running around the corner, Doc to the first kill, but Robin on the Mac-10 has replied.
Ooh, Robin's going for more. He's got a second kill on Banana. Molotov's going down both ways, but Robin runs in to recover a smoke, drops that at his feet, and makes sure they can keep Banana control on the Endpoint side of things. So Vexed lose quite a few players early, but they also don't have many nades left at this point. And that could be an issue for them as this round goes on. They really want to make sure they get this Banana control now, with not using much utility. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for them to hit a site. So they will eventually get the Banana control they were looking for. There are still 3 smokes in play on the CT side, though. That could slow them on this push.
It does slow them down completely here with the initial smokes. That's going to keep them back inside of the site. As Vex start their walk down through Banana. Gonna be looking up middle. And trying to reapproach into this A-bomb side. Currently 2 players over here, Crucial and Connor. They're both playing from the site now, as Crucial has just gathered up on the defense. So if the time runs down, if they run it down further, which they will, they're going to be coming along long. So this becomes very interesting, Alex, whether or not these Vex players can get onto the bomb site. You know, if there's chaos, final few seconds, these Deagles can delay, just create too much chaos for them to handle, but no kill for Crucial. Now it's all Connor, and he doesn't get a single frag. So that should be the round locked in for Vexed.
Gotta wonder whether that's the stand-in situation going against Endpoint in that round. Crucial wasn't even looking at long. He was looking at short, thinking that Connor had him covered, and he just dies with his back turned. He tries to flick back around, but it's too late. He's already getting shot in the back, and then Connor is unable to trade as well. So perhaps a little bit of miscommunication between those two there on the A site. Again, though, a promising round for Endpoint, really. Just the fact that Robin gets a couple of early kills, those nades on Banana looking pretty good, Max helping to set up Robin for some kills in the first place, and a chance for more money to be made here. Surreal tries to deny the save from Vexed, but they will be okay in the pit. The bomb's been planted on the far side of the site, so they won't take too much damage. They'll be fine. They'll carry over the guns. And I guess the question for Endpoint is, do you really want to use this Mac-10 that you've saved? You don't have to, but knowing Robin, he could just try and push somewhere with this.
I mean, if it's in the hands of Robin, you know he can make it work. You know he can do something with it. And he's going to try and build that money up. He's going to try and make it work. And I applaud it, Alex. I think it's very admirable. But 2 kits in play for Endpoint. It's better than none, of course. But keep an eye on that. And while Shine opening things up, we talked about that ult battle coming into this grand final. We talked about, oh my god, Endpoint just get absolutely wrecked with that grenade. They run into each other. Connor's desperately trying to run back, but they're just not letting him. No retreating, Alex. And they're going to get chunked down by that HE. But like I said, this ult battle we talked about early on, Shine winning it.
You do wonder whether Crucial wasn't expecting the AWP to come out this early when he goes for that peek down mid. It's definitely a risky fight to take. There are some AWPers that are just happy to take that every time, though. I know Woxic is an AWPer who just loves peeking down mid. Any opportunity he gets, he thinks he can just be faster on the trigger. This time, though, Crucial not ready for the fight, so that man advantage gathered by Vexed, as you so rightly said. And now with quite a few players on half health, thanks to that whopping nade, Vexed are going to go back to the A site. And this is where, on the CT side of Inferno, you really hate going down a man. Because look at how much of the map is open right now. A long is wide open, short can be pushed up quite quickly, and that's what Vexed are going to do.
running straight up in towards the bomb site. Dox and Bolt trying to get these opening kills. They're going to pick them up easily. Now, 4v2 bomb plant coming in from Vexed. They lock it in to the back of the bomb site. And that's a 4th round picked up for Vexed early on. And honestly, very good signs from Vexed on this T side, Alex. Endpoint are looking flustered, I have to say. Couple of moments where they're not really synergizing too well. And I think that's important. That's what we were talking about coming into the interviews before this matchup. Vexed was saying, okay, we understand that this matchup should be an Endpoint series, right? But if we are ever going to beat Endpoint, this is the best way we can beat this team, right? Is playing with a stand-in. They're not practicing with Connor. No, this is the perfect storm for Vexed to be able to take them down. Problem does become it is a best of 5, so you will have a lot of maps to warm up into things and work things out. But if Vex can get off to this good start, this is what I was talking about. This is the kind of performance they need to stand a chance here. They need to come out swinging, and they've got those first 4 rounds on the board. And it's not really a good scenario here in terms of the money for Endpoint either, right? They're going to be lacking a few pieces. Utility's not going to be good. Still got that Mac 10 in play. They seem fantastic for Endpoint, but it'll be good enough.
Thankfully, Robin was so rich after not buying a rifle in the previous round that he could drop a couple of guns over and make this buy somewhat reasonable. But I think for Endpoint, the important thing now is making sure you don't overextend alone at the start of these rounds. Don't give up those man advantages so easily, because we just saw in the last round how hard it is to play when you're a man down on Inferno. It's so difficult to be able to rotate quickly between the sites. You start to lose information across the map. So I'm really glad that we're just seeing Endpoint sit back, play passively. And this is basically Endpoint saying that Vexed have to prove to Endpoint that they've got something that's going to work. You're basically forcing Vexed to run something out of their playbook. And this is where we'll really get to see how deep Vexed can go on Inferno.
Under a minute left in play. Crucial this time. A bit more of a passive setup with his AWP. He's trying to pick up the kill, but he's missed the shot. And now Leaf trying to rattle in behind his heels. But Crucial, luckily, very luckily, gets back to the bomb side. Now running forward through the smoke. Leaf with a kill. Finally finishes off the Dutch AWPer. Now it's Robin towards New Box. They will start to clear him, but Shine just dives into the open. And Robin nearly doubles up. But him getting only the 1 kill, that'll still keep the man advantage in play for Vexed. And you can see the money from Endpoint is not in a good position, so they're saving on the other end of the map. 5-0 up, Alex. Misfires from the AWPers here on Endpoint. This is not looking too hot to start this final off.
And again, it just comes back to how important those individual fights are at the start of the rounds on Inferno. If you lose a player early at B like that, it's just such a hard spot to be in. There really is not much room for error there for Crucial. As soon as he misses the first shot, he's lucky to get back to safety in the first place, and then the sight hold is never going to be great because Crucial's just scrambling to get into position. So as you said, a couple of misfires early, costing Endpoint. They go 5-0 down. Again, we can't get ahead of ourselves, but this is the exact sort of start that we would want to see from Vexed. They've got money built up. They'll be able to get full gun rounds for at least a couple of rounds, right? They've got that cash built up, whereas Endpoint, again, are in a similar situation where that Mac 10 is still going, Dinko. How long have they had that Mac 10 for now? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, since the second round, round 6 coming up, so ridiculous. It's still in play, but it's been tossed from Robin to Connor's hands this time. Let's see if he can wield this weapon to success. Molotov burning. Out Banana. Follow-up utility coming in from Endpoint, just tossing the smokes down. The nades going into Banana. Trying to take those fights early on. Doodle with the G grenades. Here come the double nade stack down in towards top Banana. That's going to force the defensive Endpoint back into the site. Vex right now, well, they're looking pretty comfortable on this T side. They have an idea of how they want to approach this. Inferno's looking quite good for them. This Banana control has been impressive, Alex. They've actually been able to win Banana pretty much every time, right? They've forced Endpoint back into the bomb sites. And now Robin at first orange just has to step up. He's got Crucial on the rifle this time. Robin goes down, and so does Crucial. This B bomb site has been a big weakness for Endpoint.
They've switched that setup around a couple of times as well. Crucial and Robin playing there this time, as was the case in the previous round. But it's just not worked out for them. Mighty Max has been kind of switching between the sites at times, but just not getting those fights to go their way early, and they're in trouble. They lose out on the B site. I think something that was a shame for Endpoint in that round was that it looked like they were trying to take banana control. They used their mollies, they used some nades early, but somehow one of the Vex players was actually able to sneak up banana onto one of the closer angles in towards that sort of dark position. And then it looked like Endpoint had to completely bail on banana, having used so many of their nades early. So you see there, both B players are just kind of fighting because there aren't that many nades left on the CT side. They can't use their counter utility to slow Vex down, and Vex just go for a contact play into the B site, and they're just winning their fights right now. How long until we see the timeout, Dinko? That's the question on my mind. 6-0 down.
The question I have is, how long are we going to see the MAC-10? That's the most important question on our minds, Alex. Still in play.
Just look at the stats in general on Endpoint. Like, Max is 0-0-2. He's just been not playing Counter-Strike right now, it feels like. That's got to change. These saves obviously have to happen. It's what's helping them continue to buy. But it's shaky for them. This time, though, Robin's got that banana control, Dinko. Could that be the difference maker?
Well, he's given it up, and of course, Endpoint can still retake it, but they're still very poised towards this A bomb site. They're not going to be committing here just yet. Obviously, the bomb is still back in those T stairs, so they're giving themselves plenty of opportunities. And there's still a lot of utility left over on this T side. So they can definitely still retake banana. Try and put the attentions back over here on B. Connor is the only player over here. Now, if you remember back a little bit earlier on in the pistol round with Mighty Max towards this B bomb side alone. Now he's over towards A. Still yet to get a kill. They can try and change up the setup on the A-bomb side as well to come for a little bit of a boost, leaving that one player there. That will allow a rotation to come through over this B-bomb side, but it's A this time from Vex. They have made the right call pretty much every time. The smoke goes out in towards long, so Real has to step up here. He has to get this first kill, and the spacing's a little bit off, which allows 2 kills to come in from Surreal. And finally, Mighty Max getting his first kill on the board in the final. You've got Isa and Docs left trying to win out a 2v4.
Throwing something different into the mix on the Endpoint side. A little boost catches Vexed off guard, but now Isa's going to molly out this man, try and get this kill up close. It's not going to happen for him, though. Nice shot from Docs, but Robin swings for the trade. And finally, Endpoint on the board in the grand final. It took longer than we expected it to, but they get their first round win, and maybe this will be the start of some more success for them.
Yeah, you gotta hope, because it has been nothing for Endpoint. They haven't been able to win a single round up until this point. So now they look to get a little bit more, obviously, under the board. And we take a look at this 3-man early setup in towards banana. Endpoint thinking that Vex is going to run it back to B, where they've had a lot of that success. And just try and battle that early with the utility. The thing is that for Vex, I don't think there's anything fundamentally wrong. I think that round was actually really well played from them. Up until the point they went out top middle. I don't think there was anything they did wrong there. I think it was actually the perfect play. Because they had actually rotated a player over from Endpoint to that B bomb site. It was just the spacing was a little bit off. That long peak coming out. I feel like I would have preferred a bracket smoke to the left side. Would have allowed the short focus coming in from that first player. And honestly, that was enough to change the tide of that round, I feel.
Again, it's another round where Endpoint, in this one, have committed so many of their nades to banana early and not been able to hold it. Look at Mighty Max, Robin, and Connor. They've used almost all their utility trying to fight for banana, but Vexed are always able to dodge these mollies, dodge these nades, and now they're setting up in the smoke. We could see a quick pop onto this B site, but Endpoint already have 3 CTs here ready to hold.
Good flashbang coming in from Shine. That is going to blind Connor. Forces the players back in a new box. And this B bomb side attack coming in from Vex. Connor with the headshot. Volt and Isa following up. Still one player here. It's Connor not too far off denying the bomb plant, but it will not come through. So now 3 versus 4. A man advantage in play for Vex onto this post plant. We've got to see Surreal, Crucial, and Connor attempt this now. They cannot afford to lose this round. They need to go and find themselves consecutive wins. Endpoint have been losing far too many rounds, and finally Connor getting his kill onto Volt. Now they start to move forward. 3v3 still. Surreal needs this quick kill, but he's got to worry about banana. That's the headshot in. Can he get the second? It's cleaned up, and Endpoint, they win the retake. I have to say, there's a couple of points here where Vexed are a little bit overzealous in the post-plant, Alex. I think they're peeking a little too much, giving a few too fights to Vexed, or should I say Endpoint. And if you're giving those fights over to Endpoint, they're going to win most of them, right?
Yeah, I think they wanted to try and maybe play a crossfire there between the banana and the pool player, but Surreal is so quick at getting both those kills that there's no way that's going to happen. And the way they were holding it, the man from Banana is in a position where his teammate can't really trade him that easily from pool. So unfortunately for Vex, no chance for them really to get those trades. Great work from Surreal there, though, being fully aware of those angles, making sure to clear them out. And now Crucial wants to get involved early, and he's finally landing shots. Crucial getting on the board. Early pick goes his way, but a fast long play from Vexed.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to split this A bomb site. Library player over here, Connor, though. He's going to be spotting one. Nearly gets the second, but just the one. Gotta keep the man advantage in play for Endpoint. Now Crucial really stepping up in this round. He's found himself 4 kills on the AWP after missing so many early shots. That's the kind of round that can fire up Crucial.
He kept his confidence, continued to play his game, even though he was missing some of those early kills previously. Getting back onto the bomb site, it's such a hard position to play on that A site. You see so many times AWPers just getting 1 kill there and then getting traded. But Crucial finds just enough cover to get both of those kills. Huge round from him. And now we're starting to see the confidence flowing for Endpoint. But Vexed aren't going to give up without a fight. Docs with an early kill. And again, early aggression towards A.
Surreal getting back into Archways, trying to run away. Vex sending that early presence up middle, catching Crucial this time, but Surreal, what a good job he has. His preem is perfect, Alex. You know, he's peeking around the corner. His crosshair is exactly where he wants it to be. That's very important to take note of. That's one of Crucial's best skill sets, or should I say Surreal's best skill sets, is the fact that he can always know where his crosshair is going to be. And you can see how that came through in that retake a couple of rounds ago, right? Peek down Banana was perfect. The follow-up into pool. He's very aware of where his crosshair needs to be. That does allow for very quick dashes in, getting a kill, dashing back out. I think that's very important. I think Surreal is a big piece to this team that's kind of overshadowed a little bit from some of the more flashy players, shall we say. But I feel like he's a fundamental piece to their success. Now, with 45 seconds left, Vex still walking into this A bomb site. Currently, you've got Connor over here alongside Mighty Max. But they're looking to try and wrap this A side again. This time, there's no information being gathered, Alex. So they actually will be able to walk up and pressure this site. I feel like it comes down to the pit play here.
Mighty Max playing from that mini pit. Connor's been spotted early, so he has to try and put out a flashbang, but Max needs to help his teammate out, and Max gets the first kill. Looking for more, but Eyes is already on the site, and Max is struggling. Drop about to come down. He's got such low ammo. 3 bullets left. Max can't get the kill, and the bomb's going to go down with an advantage.
Yeah, low HP and all of the players here from Vex, though. Missed shot from Shine. An awkward duel between him and Surreal, but luckily, Surreal comes out on top for Endpoint. 2v2. Retake certainly still a possibility with the kit on the back of Robin. They're both very high on HP right now. 90 and 92 versus the 6 and 33 on Vex, but they have got good positions. Isa in the pit can peek out for the first kill, and now Surreal with no kit left has to battle against 2 players in a crossfire. This just isn't going to happen. Surreal will not be winning this round. He backs away. He saves the open to the next round. And that will be a 7th for Vexed. They will be competing in this grand final, Alex. There's no question about that now. This is exciting, more than we expected. But they will be competing. They both go down to the bottom there. But nonetheless, the round is won. And the money's not really that great for Endpoint right now.
It's a little bit awkward for Vexed as well. I think Shine might have to get a weaker weapon. Volt actually the man with the Mac 10 right now. A UMP in there as well. So somehow Vexed have got the weaker weapons into this next round. Crucial's able to get the AWP out on the CT side. Connor, again, being the man who's trying to help the team the most, taking the MP9. He was taking the Mac 10 so many times as well. He hasn't really had too many chances with the rifles so far, but Surreal almost caught at top mid. But again, his timing's just right. His positioning's just right to get away. Now he's got to be careful, though. Pressure on. Surreal almost makes it 2, but Leaf hunts him down.
While Counter-Strike, you're spreading out, you're winning those early fights, and you're then setting up for execute. You can't just run through a smoke at endpoint. They're just going to smack you. So you have to be a little bit more careful when it comes to that. Step your mark. Certainly still underdogs in this one, but leading the way, 9-5, looking solid so far, but they've lost 2 early players. So Real doing a good job, another kill for him picked up, and it does leave Isa and Dox alone in a 2 versus 4, and this isn't looking too great for them, especially with Robin flanking up through middle. It's just Dox left alone, and Vexed impressed in the first half, Alex. I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can show us more as we head into the second half.
Come on.
Millions of gamers rage quit every day. Mountain Dew Game Fuel's got you covered. Game Fuel is specially crafted with ingredients shown to improve accuracy and alertness. Another one saved by Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
Make it happen, it's our lifestyle. And I ain't got no regrets, it's my time now. Lights out when you see us starting moves. You don't know that's the...
Come on.
Millions of gamers rage quit every day. Mountain Dew Game Fuel's got you covered. Game Fuel is specially crafted with ingredients shown to improve accuracy and alertness. Another one saved by Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
And try, but can do it like Vinny. Yeah, no permission. I got it.
Endpoint are looking rough. Their individuals not really showing up in that first half. Luckily, a resurgence from Crucial and Surreal delivered them enough rounds to make this look competitive. But Vex will look to continue their good form. But it's a quick play up banana, and no one is here on the defense.
It's so hard to spam this smoke with the USP as well. You can already see Leaf hasn't landed a single shot there. So it's a clean bomb plant, a clean start to the round. Vex do have utility for the retake though, Dinko. A couple of pieces of utility, a smoke and a molly to try and cut down on these positions that Endpoint can play in the post plant. But Endpoint have utility of their own, and all 4 banana players are stuck behind that smoke.
Well, spamming through the smoke, it's Surreal getting one headshot through the smoke. The Molotov burning away Shine, and Surreal doing so much work. He's looking for another one, but Endpoint will clean it up. 9-7 on the board. They win the pistol round, and they desperately needed a good start into the second half. If they want to build up some momentum, if they want to get some of their individuals playing better than they did in the first half, they got to show us early on. Vexed, they did good to post 9 rounds, but that can very easily slip away from you. So the economic decisions coming up in these next few rounds are certainly incredibly important for Vexed.
Really nice pistol as well from Endpoint there. Having those nades prepared for the post plant and putting them onto Banana just completely thwarted any chance that Vexed had at getting back into that one. The smoke first, but then the molly as well. Just so well timed. And Dox taking a bit of damage while falling back, but the early damage is actually favoring Vexed here. Robin's down to 30 health from that early scout shot. Max taking some punishment as well at the start of this round. So a couple of the Endpoint players definitely softened up at the start of this round. Vexed still just playing standard across the board. They've clearly got faith that their pistols can pull through in this one, but Connor almost gets a lineup. Gets a kill onto Banana though, and now the front sight smoke going down. No commitment from Endpoint, though. They realize they don't need to risk running into a stack. They are going to take their time.
Walking up through middle, the bomb on the back of the attacking side as they start to enter this A bomb site. Currently, you've got Shine off towards the long side, Isa in the middle of the A bomb site, and Volt is playing from Graveyard. So this is, of course, not looking like the best setup available right now, but we'll see if they can get something done on this A bomb side. These pistols, it's all about creating some chaos in the middle of the site, but Endpoint are going to leave A. They're going to run it back to the B bomb site. Just that one player over in Ruin, so it's not like he's going to gather any info here at all. Leaf will not be able to spot anything happening onto this B bomb site until the smokes come up, and now they know that Endpoint have gone B, and it doesn't really matter because Mighty Max is over here causing problems on the A bomb side as well. Bomb shall go down in just a moment. Leaf trying to cause a few problems, but the round has been won by Endpoint. It's going to be 9-8 up on that board now. And probably just looking to save what they've got here into the next one.
Well played by Endpoint in this one. Just making sure they don't fall foul to any sort of stack, any sort of shots being landed. They really don't give Vex many opportunities to make that happen, which is exactly what you want to do in this sort of round. Helps make sure you can build up your own money as well. None of the Endpoint players here dying early in this round, and they're all going to be safe to save on Banana as well. Gotta say, Dinko, we were talking at the start of the game about how it was exciting to potentially see Shine keeping up with Crucial on those AWP kills. That didn't really happen in the first half, but we do know it is difficult to AWP on that T side of Inferno. He didn't get that AWP out too often, so maybe he can try and catch up in this second half once he gets that AWP out on the CT side, because Crucial really stepped that up as the half went on. He clearly won the AWP battle in the first half.
Yeah, he definitely did. I think our dream of watching Shine be able to compete lasted one round. Crucial adapted pretty well. But Connor, he has got himself this good kill here. I want to see Connor get a bit more confident. I feel like there's a few rounds on that defensive side where he was a little bit lackluster in terms of that A-hold. So obviously once you get a bit more comfortable on the T side, Volt with the headshot onto Crucial on the Deagle. Robin able to step up as well. That's eyes out of there. And a 4v3. A man advantage in play for Endpoint with the better weapons. This should be a round locked in. This should be 9-9 tied up. Connor just holding for that walkout through the smoke. Dox actually got blinded by his teammate there. Leaf tried to flash him out into the open. Flash was ineffective at blinding any of the Endpoint players. Ended up just blinding his teammates. So that didn't really work out. And now it's just Leaf left alone in a 1v4. Endpoint will tie up the scoreline. And yeah, this is why I do get a little bit worried for Vex, because we're starting to see those signs of the Endpoint players being warmed up now, starting to figure things out. They had a shaky start for sure, but now they've grabbed control of things, Alex, and you can start to see them getting in their rhythm. And that is very, very difficult to break out.
And in those early rounds they lost, it was mainly just coming down to losing some of those early fights, which, as you said, has not been happening as the rounds have gone on. They've started to win many more of these individual battles. Shine has got that AWP out on the CT side, though, looking for a fight down mid. where Crucial is currently waiting with his AWP on the other side of things. Shine flashed off the angle early, though, so no chance for the CT sniper to get involved in the round early. And Vexed are not committing anything to Banana early in the round. This is very different to how Endpoint were playing B. Endpoint were always committing, but that's a fantastic shot from Connor to crack open this B bomb site.
You know, really solid kill. He is going to be that entry role, right? He's not going to have the utility for the set pieces. He's not going to be there in practice for Endpoint, so he's not going to be relied upon to do a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of setting them up with the flashes, the smokes. Instead, he's just that entry forward. Send him in. Hope they can find those opening kills. He's got one here in the B bomb site, but Shine and Isa have fought back. They've got 2 kills between them, but can they win this round? Can they feasibly pull it off? In their head, it's a no. So they're going to save over on the A bomb site, saving the AWP and the M4 in the next one. And it's 10-9. Endpoint head into the lead for what is the first time on the server.
Bit of a shame there for Vexed as well, because the way they're playing that B site, as long as they can just jiggle peek that angle at CT, they have so many nades, which would have been able to slow down any aggression. Right? They're not fighting for Banana with their utility early. They're keeping their nades on the players on the B site, so that as soon as they spot players early, they can use a smoke or maybe a quick molly to stop any potential early aggression. But instead, the jiggle peek ends up being completely caught out. Connor gets that all-important entry. Surreal gets a kill on the lurk. And then Mighty Max tops it off with one of his own and makes sure that Endpoint are back in the lead. I think actually in the lead for the first time in this game. I don't know why I'm saying back in the lead, Dinko. They've been on the back foot from the start of this one, but finally, it's turning around for them.
Yeah, right now, Endpoint are clearly in control. After they started their little comeback at the end of the first half, at least they haven't lost a round. And it's not looking good for Vex right now. Nice is in the corner, finds Robin just running into him. I think Surreal actually knew there was a player there, had a real strong inkling that there could be a player hiding in that corner, and I don't think he communicated that to Robin, who just ran through the apartments. So luckily is going to be taking the trade kill and a follow-up inside of the apartments. Endpoint having just lost the one player, looking to lock in 11 rounds, and this has not been the start of the second half Vex have been looking for, but you have to say, Alex, they haven't really had too many opportunities with the weapons. I want to see them get another gun round out here before I really make my statement on how I think the rest of Inferno will go. Right now, it's looking really good for Endpoint, though. They haven't really had too many problems. Their money's starting to build up. They are winning a lot of those opening duels. Like you said, that was really their only weakness over on that first half. That was kind of causing them to crumble. Actually, there was a few more weaknesses based on just individuals not really being synergized. I think, some of the crossfires weren't there, right? They weren't playing too well as a team, as a unit. You kind of brought out the point of Connor kind of being that stand-in player. So, yeah, I think this is certainly looking rough for Vex. They do lose the ult there, but the money is available, so they'll be able to buy that into the next one. But it's 11-9 now for Endpoint. And this is a do-or-die round for Vex. They lose this one, we're going to see Endpoint start to rack up those round wins.
Option for double AWPs is there for Vexed, and they decide to take it. 2 snipers picked up. Isa could have dropped the AWP over to make sure the nades were a bit more well-balanced, but it's fine. It's basically a full buy. Doc's just missing a couple of pieces of utility, and that is it. So it is that full buy for both teams. There's a chance for Vex to show us what they're made of on the CT side of their pick. Their first pick in this best-of-5 grand final, and Dox has got their kill while blind. Waiting patiently, getting the timing right. There will be no entries on the B site from Connor in this round.
None at all. And currently on the A bomb site, you can see how many players are in very strong positions. Isa elevated up on the balcony. We actually seen a sick headshot coming from Isa over in that first half on a player standing in this exact position, but he will instead be getting a kill from it. Crucial and Robin, 2v5. 1 minute and 5 seconds left into the round, and Volt just sitting up on the balcony. Crucial tries for the kill. He won't be able to pick it up, and that chicken just got absolutely destroyed, Alex. It's making me kind of hungry.
Ooh. Very close.
Isa down in 6 HP now. Smoke goes down as well. It's all about keeping as many players alive as possible here, Alex, of course.
Oh no, Molotov lands. The smoke was not able to extinguish it. That's one man gone, and maybe a way that Endpoint can get back into contention here. Drop down from Volt. That would have been heard. He has to put down a defensive smoke of his own. He has thankfully got the AWP helping him from that long-range angle, but Endpoint is still sneaking up. They could actually get this kill onto the player, onto the mini-pit position. Oh, okay. Finally, the kills come against them. Robin now stuck on the site. 1v4. Volt gives him the chance, but he's not able to take it. Volt winning both of those battles, and Vex finally with another round on the board. It's been a while coming, but they get their first CT round.
$11-10. Vex, it's not a bad round either, Alex. I think it's a very comfortable round for them. They look very solid in the round. I think it's just a good setup in towards that A bomb site. But I want to see what Endpoint's approach coming into this next round is. Big talking point for us coming into this match was that Mighty Max against the UK teams has been able to start fragging a lot more. Hasn't really been able to do that so far. Currently on 6 kills. And he's struggling. Gonna be clearing out top Banana. They're sending him in as the front man this time. And just taking the time through the Banana control that they've got. You can see over on A, one player tucked in the corner alongside. The shot's being rattled, but there's Dox with the kill. Crucial goes down, and now he'll be looking for another one. Molotov just burning away this top Banana position as Dox starts to move forward. He'll want this kill to come through his way, but this aggression not working out for Vex. Instead, Mighty Max has found the trade kill back, and now the run into the B bomb site can come through.
Surreal again on the lurk. He's been so good in those positions on the A site. Surreal's got another. Mighty Max with one through the smoke. It's all gone horribly wrong for Vexed here. They're just losing players across the map. Again, Surreal getting some good info. Basically, every time Surreal gets kills, it feels like they're very important kills in the round. So he almost can't get this many kills most of the time. But somehow, he's top fragging and getting a lot of impact kills, which is very hard to do.
That is very true. It comes down to his role in the team, right? And he, like I said a little bit earlier on, he's such an essential piece in this machine of Endpoint. He gets a lot of those essential, impactful kills that are very difficult to get, right? And I think that's very important for a team to have Surreal just maybe not being the usual standout player, but getting those important kills, draw the man advantages back in your favor, or getting those retake kills, just running in, getting that first kill to open up a retake opportunity. That's very important. And Endpoint, I think, have got a very good player to do that role. Surreal starting to run forward. He's looking to try and get an opening kill this time. He's done a lot of damage onto Shine, who is so low, but nearly gets dropped through the window there as well. This is awful. Not the start Vex are looking for. Taking a lot of damage, but luckily haven't lost a player.
Smoke's being traded back and forth on Banana. Endpoint with that full banana control. As you said, though, that early damage onto two of the Vexed members could be a real difference maker as this round goes on. Nice bit of nade damage back from Vexed, but the B play about to come through. Mighty Max the first man in, but Dox takes him out of the round. And the rest of Endpoint a little slow to follow up here. Some counter utility being used. They're not comfortable pushing right now, but Surreal clears the angle and gets the kill over the top of the smoke. Oh, and Connor gets one through the smoke.
Bomb planted. Retake having to come in for Vex the man deficit. They're going to say no to that one and save into the next round. So Endpoint are going to be up 13-10. Things are going to be looking pretty good for the Endpoint team right now. After having a very shaky start into this map, they have recovered as best as they can, really. This has been a really good showing from them in recent rounds and one they can be pretty happy with. I think they're going to be disappointed with the start that they had, but they're not going to read too much into it. As long as they get the win here, as long as they get this over the line, they can't really complain a whole lot, right? It's all about getting that win under the belt. And you see Endpoint 13-10 up now, 3 away from victory. Over for Vexed, we take a look at what they'll be able to do coming into this next round. They've got quite a bit of money left over on Volt and Shine. Dox has enough as well, and Elite has 3.8k. So you can get a full buyout here for the Vex team. You can get the rifles out around the save weapons. You can certainly still compete coming into this one. So Endpoint are still going to have to deal with a buy coming in from Vexed, and they're going to have to try and shut this one down. If they manage to win this round, though, Alex, I'm starting to see a world in which Endpoint take Inferno.
It's looking more and more likely that that is the world we're living in, Dinko. We'll see. Managed to get in between all of them. More nades being used now. Connor forced away. He's down to 30 health, but he's somehow still alive, even though Vexed have focused heavily on trying to get him out of this position. He's kept banana control for his team. And with that smoke being deployed, Vexed decide they have to fall back. So no banana control gathered by the CT side. And Endpoint have mainly been putting most of their players now on the A side of the map. Connor's been able to keep banana alone, so they're going to use some nades up towards A to see if they can get some early kills with this AWP.
Under a minute left in play. As Mighty Max starts to walk up top middle. A lot of control towards this A bomb site can be taken if they get around long here. They can take down this AWP in the archway. You can be feeling very happy about this one. 40 seconds left. Connor's starting to walk up through banana. Currently in the archway, Shine just still holding, still biding his time. The attack into the B bomb site is imminent, though. So Mighty Max is just going to try and make a little bit of info, make a little bit of noise towards A. Now the attack into B is perfect. The flashbangs completely neutralizing Dox. The boost kill comes through as well. Leaf does get one down. Shine's rotated over to the B bomb site, and it's going to be a 3v3 post plan.
Endpoint getting aggressive as well. Robin tucked on the close corner. Crucial holding the first angle with the AWP. Shine is going to have a really tough time clearing both of these out. The flash is good, but Crucial gets the kill, as does Robin. Both of those key fights won. And even though Vexed had a good idea trying to flash into that angle, Crucial still gets the kill. Robin gets his third on the round. And Endpoint get another on the board. Vexed just starting to bow out of Inferno, it seems. Endpoint with a really good take onto the B site. It was Surreal again, who was the man flashing Connor in the first place as well. That was an important early flashbang which landed. Isaac gets one kill on the exits at the very least. But the momentum is firmly in favor of Endpoint right now. They are just 2 rounds away from picking up this first map of the final.
14-10. Endpoint. So close, Alex. So close. And while we take a look at the map video on the top right as well, Train will be coming up next. That's the map pick of Endpoint. Inferno was the pick of Vex. They had a game plan coming into this. We've seen that immediately on the T side. But they have dropped off going into the second. They dropped off towards the end of the first half. You know, when Endpoint picked up a few more rounds, they definitely started looking more solid. And they went on a bit of a tear at the start of the second half. Now it's been difficult to see a world in which Vex put rounds together, unfortunately. Some aggression down banana. That's really well played. Dox delivering an opening kill. The nade damage coming through onto the Endpoint players as well. And Surreal starting his walk through the apartments. Currently 24-14. That HE is going to land right on top of him, though. You gotta do 20 damage.
And not bad. Half a second later, that nade probably would have taken a lot more. So Surreal's still on the lurk. Endpoint taking banana control with the rest of their team, but Vexed aren't going to react to anything. They're sticking with their standard setup. Shine is AWPing on the short side this time, which is slightly different on that A site. That means a rifle would be the fastest rotator over to B if necessary. And Endpoint using quite a lot of nades here. 43 seconds left in the round. Surreal still trying to sell this fake, sell this presence towards A, but the nades being lined up onto this B site, and there are 2 mollies onto triple. Leaf has got the smoke though, and they're going to see if they can hold it down.
Doc's at pillar. This is a good position to try and hold this off from, but he has to go huge. He's got Leaf to take the initial damage. Now Doc's trying to play with him, but they get one from Doc's spot. Now it's Leaf that pretty much has to do everything, and he's going to find a headshot, chopping out the head of Surreal. Now it's just crucial, getting one before falling, but Leaf does a fantastic job on that B bomb side hold. An 11th round for Vexed. They will evade map point so far on their map pick. They will stay alive on Inferno with the chance coming through. The pause comes in. The money available to Endpoint. They will get that all bad again. They will get the buy around it, but this will be the start of the downfall of the economy of Endpoint. If they lose this round again, they're going to have barely any money to play with. And over for Vex, at this point, you can't really afford to lose rounds. You cannot afford to lose a single round if you want to win in regulation. So, full focus. They know their money's on the line, but they know everything's on the line here in Inferno.
Absolutely. As their map pick in this best of 5 final, they've got to make sure they climb their way back into this one. And if they can do that, Dinko, it would be a real show of grit from this Vex team, because they were able to get some round wins early. They were able to get the ball rolling early in this game, but to fight back from this deficit, this is going to be the hardest challenge for Vexed right now. Let's see if they can pull it off. Early nades down Banana again. We've seen this quite a few times so far. 2 mollies deployed by Vexed. Endpoint still sticking around at the bottom of Banana, though, waiting for their moment to be able to get back this control. That nade will do some damage to Connor, but Connor generally has been able to get this banana control unscathed, Dinko. He's done a pretty good job at that.
Yeah, he's been pretty much just running up there, right, and having no problems. He's been able to just kind of push forward, and he's been an essential piece in this Endpoint machine on that B bomb site. If it isn't Connor, then it's Mighty Max up there. So they have had a lot of early success in towards Banana, whether it be, you know, getting that kill or just having that control. I know we do react to Twitch chat a little bit later on, but I've got it open for the Razor reactions a little bit later on. I have just noticed a brilliant one about someone hoping that Tesco still have half price on Chinese noodles. So that's exciting. As we get into the final few moments, there's a quick hit into this B-bomb site. You're going to try and open things up as Connor and Robin get the 2 initial kills. The 2-man advantage in play for Endpoint. They've been looking for map point to lock it in here, Alex. And honestly, Inferno is looking more and more unlikely to go in favor of Vex as these rounds progress. And that was just one more round left for Endpoint. The save call happy to come in from Vex. They will concede this one. Very important that they get this AWP, I feel, into the next round. If they don't have this, they'll be looking real rough. Endpoint, they know this. But their money's not in a fantastic spot, but as long as they keep enough alive right there, the buy will still be very solid. They can afford to send one on in. And Mighty Max just jumping in towards the AWP, looking to take him down, and Robin comes in from the other side. That'll be a 15th round for Endpoint locked in. And map point on their opponent's map pick.
It did look like Leaf and Docs there on that B site hold weren't really fully prepared for exactly what sort of setup they wanted to run. It looked like they were constantly sort of rejigging it around on the bomb site. They went for that boost onto second oranges. Then they had the other player go ahead and play it triple. It just didn't feel like they had that plan ahead of time as to exactly what they wanted to do, right? And they were playing in very committed positions on the B site. So you've got to be ready to be able to try and lock that down. You've got to have some ideas. That's not a good idea. Robin stabbing Mighty Max in the back. Connor this time taking quite a bit of damage on Banana. So finally that control has gone against them. But Surreal pushing into the apartments has to be careful when he's not ready for the double stack.
Yeah, I like that. That's interesting from Vexed. Something random thrown in there into a round. They desperately need these kills to go their way. They've got that initial kill. A lot of damage has been done as well onto Connor. He's down on 38 HP. Round 27. continues to play out. Will Endpoint seal the deal with a man disadvantage, or will Vexed keep themselves alive? You can see currently setting up with his passive hold on the B bomb site. They've put one player up on that boost with the MP9. Playing a second in behind him, it's Leaf. Just trying to sell it out, hoping Docs can do something here with a couple of shots rattled through. 45 seconds now, Endpoint. Still with multiple options, right? They've still got 2 players over towards B, 2 towards A, and the bomb's back on T stairs.
Yeah, time is really ticking. Like you said, that bomb's finally been recovered. Mighty Max looking to sell the fake, and he's got the first kill. Leaf trades him out, but they push him out to come into the A site, and Vexed haven't fallen for the fake. They've still got 3 CTs here ready to hold.
Yeah, I think these fakes have been a little telegraphed from Endpoint, to be honest. You can see Vex completely aware they fake out the utility, and then they end up on the other side of the map. And right now, Connor, he'll be there with a headshot. Crucial coming in as well. And they need every kill to go his way in the final few seconds here. 7 seconds, jumps up on top, gets the shot. Not enough time, I don't think. Might just be a split second on the bomb, and he's got it down. Now 1v1, and he could win it, but it's Leaf with the headshot. Crucial nearly closed that in ridiculous fashion. A split second left on the bomb plant, and it will be Endpoint having to play another round. Vex survive. Leaf has been their hero in a few of these rounds now.
Crucial has just been killing it on that A site with the AWP, though. He's so good at maneuvering his way around those boxes and just seemingly turning it into 1v1s every time. It's really difficult to land those close-range shots as well, but Crucial nearly makes it happen for his team. As you said, though, important round for Leaf. Keeps his team on top. And yeah, those fakes, especially that last one where Max is just pushing the B site, there's not even really much utility there on the fake. Not really working out, and I think at this point, maybe it's better off for Endpoint just to go back to maybe a standard play, right? Just a standard take of the bomb site, because normally those have been going pretty well for them. When they've been going for their B executes, those have been working. This time, though, aggression from the CT side. Leaf gets the first kill, but it's Crucial firing back through the smoke.
15-12. Again, Vexed fighting for overtime now. 4v4. They did well to get that initial map advantage into the previous round. They looked strong with it, but now Endpoint have pulled it back. They've got that 4v4. They're going to be turning their attentions back over towards this B bomb site. Again, just the one-man lurk elsewhere. It's currently Surreal over towards A. Trying to poke and prod and see what's going on. Endpoint throw the flash up into B, but this is definitely where they want to go now. Docs is going to be under pressure. He's the only player here with the UMP, and they are looking to isolate that CT player. This is going to work out horribly for Docs. He needs to frag out. He needs to deliver at least one here. And they're actually just going to back off. Starting to walk back yet again. I think Endpoint have been faking themselves out a little too much here, Alex. Again, Vex not giving that one up. They're not going for the rotation. They see what Endpoint are doing. They know exactly what's happening right now.
Time is so low for Endpoint as well. These smokes are going to take a bit of time to land, but the first shot missed by Shine, and he's about to be smoked off. That smoke is still bouncing. Finally, it goes down, and they can try and wrap this A site.
Volt trying to hold on for the pit, but this is just looking dire for Endpoint. They completely outthink themselves, and luckily the kills come in, but there's no time for the bomb plant, and the round is lost. Endpoint, you know, if you just go into that B bomb site, you win. I feel like they need to realize how good they actually are, Alex. Look at the final few seconds on this A bomb site. Even though they're walking into a stack 2 rounds in a row, they still get pretty much all of the kills. The problem is the time being a limiting factor. If they walk into any of these bomb sites, I feel like they're good enough to win those aim duels. And that's something that Endpoint are not going with. They're kind of overthinking it, I feel. Trying to make it a little bit too tactically adept. If they just run into B there, Alex, they honestly just win the game.
I also think that Vexed have had a much harder time holding that B site in general. I mean, we've seen plenty of rounds where Vexed have got 3 players on A, and even though the time has obviously been against Endpoint, we've seen Vexed put up a much better fight on those initial duels on the A site, right? They're getting some of those early kills, and they're able to trade a bit better. Whereas on B, there have been a couple of rounds where Endpoint have just been able to get 1 or 2 early kills, their nades cut off every other CT, and the round is basically over from that. So I think that's probably what Endpoint would like to go back to in this round. We'll see if Vexed allow that to happen, though, because they've got this 3-man banana stack again. We're going to see nades on banana early. T-side smoke goes down, though. The AWP can't see anything, and this might be a faster round towards the A site, Dinko. They're already lining up some nades.
Two players inside of the A site itself. One out towards the long side, that's Leaf. I'm loving this double FAMAS setup. They know the gun's terrible, Alex, so they decide they're going to stack 2 of them, and maybe that can be enough to do something here. But this could work out if Endpoint decide to go into this A bomb site. Like you said, it has been pretty good from Vex in terms of getting those A kills initially, so they're really tucked up in the site right now, though. They're giving a lot of control over to Endpoint. This does sever their information flow. It will really limit what they can do here. They've just got to hope they can frag out when these players come into the bomb site. There's no one playing short. There's no one playing long, taking the initial kills or weakening the attack. Endpoint are going to have a fully fledged attack into this A bomb site. And they better hope this hole comes in on the FAMAS. And what? The first kill is Leafs. Can he get a second? Now the FAMAS topple. Let's see if they can get anything done. It's 1 kill. Now Bolt under pressure, trying to do the work. He's got another kill, Alex. Surreal is the last remaining player, and he's got to win out this clutch.
30 kills already for Surreal. He needs the ace in this one. 20 seconds left on the clock. Oh, Shine's got the shot from the backside, though. We're going to round 30, Dinko. We're going the distance. And there was a really important kill that Leaf got at the start of that round. Mighty Max was about to flank from long. The only player who had eyes on that was Leaf from the A site. But he got that first kill. He cut off that side of the flank. And that allowed him to focus on short much more easily. And look at the buy for Endpoint, Dinko. It's only Tech 9s and 1 AK on Surreal, who's going to have to be the hero for Endpoint if they're going to win this in regulation.
15-14. OT is a real possibility now between these two teams. In fact, it is the most likely outcome to start off this grand final. A lot of people coming into this one expecting Vex just get walked over, right? No one really expected much from Vex, to be honest. Not that they're a bad team, but just that Endpoint are just a head and shoulders above them on paper. But this has been a fantastic showing out of Vex. One they can be proud of so far. And Endpoint, well, can they win in this fashion? The B bomb site, they go back to it, Alex. You said a little earlier on, this was the weaker site for Vex in terms of the hold at times. But you have to remember, one of the times they went there, Leaf shut them down from the back of the site. He's been such an important player for them on this defensive side. And he's over here again with the M4. Now the attack comes in. The Tech 9 over to the bomb site. Goes for the first kill. Tries to go for a second, but he's overrun. And now Leaf is overrun as well. Crucial. Oh, Isa, what is that? 3 kills on the spray. That's beautiful stuff from the rifler. And it's overtime coming right up.
Jeez. I mean, that spray, Dinko. I actually can't believe he gets the 3 kills there. Walking through the smoke as well. It was another round where that B site looked somewhat vulnerable. Even though some early shots were landed, it's the same problem where the team play just seems to be slightly off towards B. I think that time it was more some missed shots from Triple, which cost them. But the fact that Vex still bounced back, and the fact that Vex have got it to this point in the first place, very impressive. Eyes are there, coming up with another huge round. I think in general, we've already got to give Vexed a lot of props. That comeback to get us to overtime was something I don't think I was really expecting. They have stepped up individually. I've got to think from Endpoint's side, though, maybe heading into this overtime, they are going to play a little bit looser, because some of these rounds, as you said, that they have kind of given away, it feels like. They've kind of given away what they're doing, and credit to Vex, they've been reading that really well. But for Endpoint, scary signs for them heading into this OT.
Yeah, definitely. Endpoint's T side fell apart towards the end there. They had no idea what they were doing in those last few rounds, I have to say. It was looking really rough from them. I guess, you know, I really do stand by the point that I think they were kind of overthinking it a little bit, Alex. They had very simple fix coming in from them. It was very much just having one player over towards one side of the map, and that was generally enough to allow Vex to realize, well, if there's only one player kind of poking around this site, kind of figuring out what's going on, they're generally going to hit the other side in the final few seconds. So they don't make the rotation until they're 100% sure And I think that's very important that we don't just highlight the negative of the T side of Endpoint, but also really have to talk about how good Vexed are at adapting. That's something that's been evident across the last 2 series we've seen from them now. They've seen in the semi-final where they looked really good in those adapting and figuring out what UMX were throwing at them. And now they're doing it against Endpoint. They don't over-rotate. They don't make these rash decisions. And because of that, they've been in a real solid spot, Alex, where they have been able to battle it back and get it to OT. And we go the distance and a little bit more as we head into the bonus rounds to start off this grand final.
A much more competitive first map to the grand final than most people were expecting. But Vexed have come through. They've shown that they're not going to give up without a fight. And they're going to try and do that in overtime as well. Crucial running through the flames. Shine is going to back away from this angle, so it's not going to matter too much. Connor again is this one man on Banana, taking a little bit of early nade damage, but nothing too bad. So similar to that previous round, Endpoint are getting some early control, and Shine's got the early shot. Mighty Max trying to be flashed into top mid, but Shine comes into play, and well, he's come into play at a very important time for them. He was a bit quiet throughout this game, but coming into overtime, he gets the first kill.
Man advantage in play for Vexed early on. It is the 16k overtime, not 10k. With I've been used to with all these RMR events lately, Alex. We've seen a lot of those 10k overtimes in the Valve rule set. It's far better when you have 16k OT. You get to see it rounds play out with rifles pretty much every single time, right? There's a big problem around over-investing on the CT side in the first round of overtime when you're in that 10k, but here you can invest. You can feel stress-free when it comes to the money. And now 35 seconds, Crucial. Going for the wall buying. He's not too far off landing that. He goes again, missing him just by a hairline. And now Alex are trying to hold on. It's 1 kill from a second as well. He had a fantastic round a little bit earlier on. And the nade is going to go around that corner. Leaf and Docs are going to have to play for the retake. And this feels like the first time Endpoint have been able to do this in a very long time.
Surreal's lurk from long was so impactful there as well. He gets all important kills. Crucial misses that first shot. Not many nades left for either team, but they've only spotted Crucial on the site. They have no idea where Surreal is.
Well, good kill from Docs. The headshot onto Crucial. Surreal following up with another kill himself, and he wants the other one. 4 kills for Surreal. 34 near team right now, Alex. This is just ridiculous. He is having such a good performance in this grand final. And 16 rounds added to the tally of Endpoint. Vex started that round with a man advantage.
And again, it's in these situations where Surreal is often off by himself on these pushes that he's able to really make that pincer work. He's really able to actually get the kills and seemingly outposition his opponents. Getting 2 kills there, pushing him from long. Really, really good work from Surreal in that round, closing it out on the site. Obviously, it helps that they don't know he's on the site. He gets gifted the first fight, but still a great 1v2 clutch from Surreal. And Endpoint get the all-important first round of overtime. Now, as you said, 16k starting money, so still plenty of cash for Vex. They can continue to get that AWP out. That's not going to be an issue for them. And this time around, Vexed have switched up their setup slightly. We haven't seen too many of these 4-man rotations over to A. Leaf is playing in CT, so he's ready to arrive on the A site quite quickly if he's required. Mighty Max pushing up long, almost took that AWP shot there, but as he tries to move into CT spawn, Leaf is aware, Leaf is ready for him, and Max hasn't cleared the corner. Leaf is about to get some easy pickings here. First kill is good. Mighty Max is able to get the trade, but Shine finds him from behind.
Yeah, man advantage now on play for Vexed. Now the attention's turned to the B-bomb site. The gap in that smoke to play with. Docs playing it to perfection. Taking Connor down, looking for another one. Crucial, quick on the trigger. And now it is just Crucial left alone. Shine has pulled his teammate into the spirit realm. And now we're looking at Crucial trying to step up and get this round under Endpoint's belt. Can he do it? He's towards new box. CT smoke still up. Looking for some sort of boost. Looking for any player to give him a slight chance into this one. X-ray off to build the tension as Crucial has no idea where these players are coming from. He's locked in, starved for information. They know exactly where he is now. That smoke makes things uncomfortable. And now the defuse starts to come through. Crucial is just desperately trying to get kills through the smoke with one. But the defuse was stuck. The round is won. And Crucial just stays alive. It's a round for Endpoint. that should have been a little bit more competitive there for them, but Vex picked them apart, and Shine with some very impactful moments there after being quiet in the series so far.
He's definitely stepping up in overtime. In that first round, he got the early pick. This time, he gets even more impact. Real shame for Mighty Max, though, in CT at the start of that round, that he can't quite clear that close corner. That really threw the round into disarray for Endpoint. Even though they can get back towards the B site, felt like that was the moment where Vexed became much more comfortable in the round. They've been able to bring it back to a 16-16 scoreline. Now, whoever wins this round will have the slight lead from this first half of overtime. Endpoint again getting that banana control, as has been the case so often throughout this game. Vexed sitting back on the site with their counter utility at the ready, and they may have to use it. Just one smoke thrown by Endpoint at the front of the site has caused some issues for Vex. They have to put down a smoke of their own. Dox is playing aggressively through that one, and Surreal somehow gets that kill onto Shine, who didn't seem ready for it. The lurk again working for Surreal, and the B play is at the ready for Endpoint.
Mighty Max just holding around the corner. Smoke comes up, and that will delay Endpoint further in behind the smoke. So 45 seconds. Utility at the ready inside a banana to run into this B site.
Look at this rotate.
Third player rotating over as well, Alex. And yeah, this gets messy. Eyes has been fantastic so far. Smoke goes down in front of his face. Leaf now. Molotov coming in. Endpoint are just being delayed and delayed further. And now another rotation coming through as well, coming in from Vault. But Connor and Robin have got 2 kills. Eyes are trying to hold, and not a single kill from the defense. This is unbelievable, Alex, how this is played out this way. Endpoint still everything against him. We're going to be taking 17 rounds. Vault will try his best. He's got 2 kills added to the tally. And now Endpoint just slow it down and realize, okay, this guy's pretty good. There's no giving him anything more. And there's the headshot from Connor. Secured 17 rounds on the board now for Endpoint. I have to say that was a better T-side for them to get it out of the way. I think it's very important that they did that. Their T-side definitely looks solid. Should I say weak? The start of their CT side looked pretty weak as well, though, Alex. So they did warm up towards the end, so we'll have to go based on what we've seen most recently.
Yeah, I gotta hope that now that they've found their form, their CT side will be looking better. They've already got that lead to work with. That last round, though, just coming down to the Molotovs for both teams. At first, it looked like that Incendiary from Vexed was going to win them the round because it held Endpoint off for so long. But Endpoint had 2 mollies onto the site. They had one for first oranges, one for second oranges. That forced the first player to peek. He went down early. Then another player dies in the Molotovs. Really solid take from Endpoint there, even though there was counter utility at the ready. And we are ready to get into the second half of overtime. AWPs out for both teams again. No double AWP setup for Endpoint, though. They're happy with just the single sniper, as you would normally expect to see. And it's Mighty Max and Robin playing Banana at the start of this round and doing good damage with the early nades. Vault down to 21 health. He has to get the hell out of there.
He's made it away. We still will have a 5v5 at the start of this round. Endpoint looking to try and grab a map point, should I say again. Vexed, well, they are going to be battling back. 1 round down. They've been in this scenario before. They're not going to feel the pressure too much just yet. Still time to play with. Still rounds to work with.
Smoke going down towards CT, where Crucial's currently standing. Vault taking this AWP while low on health and still looking for some early fights. Crucial flashed away from the angle and Vault's holding, but he misses the shot. And now Crucial has the chance for more. Goes back for a second and he gets it. Vex just giving him the fights 1 by 1 and Crucial is not going to miss these. Almost the 4th. He finally decides to back away, but Mighty Max has got his back. And Vex just get picked apart there. They couldn't get anywhere near the bomb site.
Yeah, just feeding the beast. Crucial just taking kill after kill. Now Eyes are left alone trying his best to pull this one back, but Connor's swinging out, taking him down. And it's 18-16. Endpoint are now in a position where, I'm not feeling too confident now for Vex, right? They've got to pull this all the way back. 2 opportunities for Endpoint to take this over the line. Feels like they've definitely got the individuals firing now. Crucial breaking the 30 kill mark, 31 and 16. Surreal currently 36 and 19. It's been a very good performance out of them. And now Vexed, they've just got to hope they can somehow battle back again from being down on 2 rounds to pull this back to another overtime.
No one from Vexed wanting anything to do with Banana at the start of this round. They saw what happened to Volt in the last one. They do not want to take that nade damage, and because of that, the deep smoke goes down. Endpoint get Banana control. That means these A players should be pretty well prepared for some pressure in towards top mid. Vex looking to fight in towards brackets, but the smoke is really well timed. That was Connor, I believe, who put that smoke down, and Vex decide they can't fight through that one. So Vex are really struggling to get any map control at the start of this round. Finally, though, they'll go back towards Banana, and with Robin being alone on this side of the map, he's just going to have to fall back and call for the rotation. So Vex eventually gets some map control, but it's a lot of time being wasted at the start of this round, thanks to those nades from Endpoint.
Smoke deploys in towards long. Itchy going around this corner. Flash banking off the wall, and now Leaf walking up in behind that smoke itself. Mighty Max hiding at Graveyard. 30 seconds in play, and a big headshot from Dox delivered. Surreal going down now. Dox starting to run over the top. The attack coming in from Vex is working out. Dox with another one. Leaf getting a headshot as well. And Vex will find themselves on 17 rounds, and they're just 1 round away from sending us to a second overtime.
Such an important shot from Dox there to get that early kill, because that allows them to run up short with much more confidence. You can see that Vex just don't slow down at that point, because they know they've got the kill on that player in pit. They know they've got the early fight, and they know they don't have to be worried about too many more angles. Instantly, pit is probably not a problem anymore. There's not going to be 2 players stacked in pit unless Endpoint are getting a little frisky. So they can run on towards the site much more safely, and they can just get all the kills they need. You saw that Vex were just fearless pushing into that A bomb site. Great shot from Dox early, and these kills at the end aren't really going to matter too much. Everyone has money for what will be the last round of this first overtime. The question is, do we go again, or will Endpoint take this first map? We're about to find out. We're about to find out what Vex want to do in this round. The most important round of the game so far. They have to win this one to keep themselves in their map pick.
18-17, Endpoint 1 away from victory. They just need 1 extra round to send us to that second map and take their opponent's map pick away from them. Vexed need a round to send us to double OT and fight all the way back yet again. If Endpoint lose this map, if Vex somehow pull this off, this will be very impressive from Vex. They've been against the wall in every scenario. If they somehow still overcome it, Alex, they'll be looking good. An initial kill from Leaf onto Mighty Max. There's no trade potential there from Endpoint. They'll just have to play with a man deficit in this round.
Vex did a nice job there at using some nades towards top Banana, so they kind of knew that the only place Max could maybe be is pushed up close on that right side. And you see they're ready for it. They do clear it out. They don't overlook that possibility. That gives them the early man advantage, and it forces Endpoint to take some risks. They're going to have to leave some areas of the map much more open. Right now, Crucial is peeking short in towards top mid, so that means that they don't have to worry about long for the time being, but as soon as Vex start to pressure this position, that could become a problem for Endpoint. What could become a problem for Vex, though, is the time that's remaining. Look at the utility that Endpoint still have left. They still have a couple of mollies. They still have a couple of flashes which could slow things down. And as the time ticks away, Dinko, this has got to be a clean take from Vexed onto this A site, and Isa gets the opener.
Isa indeed finding success in that kill. Now the attack coming up from Vex, looking to run into the site. Crucial there with a kill on Leaf. Under pressure, he delivers again. Crucial with 2 kills. He'll want a third here as well. They're running over the top of him. Finally, they get rid of the AWPer inside of the site. They knew time was a limiting factor, and now it is all on the stand-in. Connor versus 3. Coming back in from the long side, starting to wrap in the smoke up in his face. He wants to get to the edge of the smoke, the edge of the gap to play with. And he hasn't really been given a chance here. It's not looking good. 2 players now in the pit. This is just going to be impossible for Corner to force them out, especially with his time starting to run dry. There's not a whole lot of utility left. He's going to be peaked. Oh, he flicks back and gets the headshot, but still there's crossfire to deal with. Time ticking. Has to go and get this kill quickly, and he's shut down by Volt. We go again, Alex. Overtime number 2 coming right up.
Nice work from Vexed as well to be fast on the aggression that time. If your opponents have those counter nades left, just try and take those fights before they can use the nades. That's the philosophy that Vex described to in that round. They get that first kill, and then Crucial on the site just can't risk taking out a nade at that point. He has to just try and fight his way out of it. And as good as Crucial has been on that A-bomb site at racking up the multi-kills, at that point, they were so far down in the round that it didn't make a difference. We go to another overtime. And if nothing else, Dinko, Vexed are proving that they've got the grit. They've got the determination to keep themselves in this game. I think a lot of people would have expected Endpoint to just come right back and get the win in regulation after Vexed had that strong start and then fell a little bit flat. But Vexed have fought back. They've come through into overtime. They've proved that they can keep up with Endpoint. And we've got a very competitive first map on our hands.
Yeah, we have a really good showing right now coming in. And I'm looking forward to seeing if we can get more out of that from Vex. Will they actually be able to win Inferno here? Will they be able to get that map you were talking about? There was a big talk from Endpoint saying that they were not going to drop a map in the Prem. They were going to go ahead and win this 3-0. It's been a lot of talk from pretty much all the players. I predicted a 3-0 coming out of Endpoint. But Vex, they're on the verge of potentially taking a map out of this series. And that would be very impressive for them. And if they can keep this performance up going into the next map, who knows what they might be able to do. This is really impressive from Vex.
Bombardment of nades down Banana. That was 3 nades stacked at the same time. So you can already see that Vexed are really second-guessing themselves on this Banana play, but they're finally flashing through. They know that there's 3 CTs here, but they're still fighting for it, and they've done some early damage onto Crucial. Still, Leaf comes off a little bit worse for wear, but kind of even on the trades in terms of the damage. And it's pretty much all the utility used on these players that are committed to the B site. So Vexed will be pretty happy with that. They get some good early map control. They get themselves into top Banana early. And they're continuing to just all group up on Banana right now. Crucial uses his smoke to help the players on the B site. That's because Mighty Max and Robin have no nades left, though. So once this execute comes in, Dinko, it's all down to Max and Robin just to lock down a crossfire. And that's going to be really hard against all these flashes from Vex. This is going to be a tough hold.
Utility up in towards the site. Mighty Max holding up on top of the boost. Surreal finding the follow-up kill. And Endpoint have been given a 2-man advantage to play with into the start of this one. Not a single kill so far for the T side. Will try his best, but nothing picked up. An easy round coming through that from Endpoint. And that is a little worrying for Vex, but nonetheless, the round picked up for Endpoint. The money's still, of course, there with OT. So Vex will not have a problem going into this next one. Surreal's about to get 40 kills, Alex. That's just pretty wild. 40 kills from 9 ADR? That's nuts.
That is crazy. He's having a great game.
Yeah, of course, the ADR, for anybody who is confused, it was a joke, of course. You know, you come into this one, ESCA, reset the stats as you enter a new half, so that'll be all sorted at some point. Ooh. Molotov going deep in, and a lot of utility coming in. 3 players at the top of Banana, and an initial kill picked up as well.
3-man Banana stack working out for Endpoint once again. Volt getting up close towards top mid, and Surreal finally loses a fight, but Connor eventually gets the kill he was looking for. Molly goes down, but Shine beats it. He can get towards the site itself. Connor's still alone on the bomb site for the time being, but Mighty Max is arriving. He might get here in time, but they're not confident pushing out in this position, and now Connor isolated on the site. Robin able to trade, and there's still utility left for Vex to get this bomb down safely.
Bomb planted. Smoke's going out in towards the long side. Flashbang through it as well. Eyes are blinded. Shine now in the middle of the side itself. Eyes are looking to take a headshot, but Shine has got the first. Picked up on a crucial. Eyes are following up as well. Now Shine alongside Isa in a 2v1 against Robin. He would have to pull off an A-bomb site retake on a ridiculously low health of 34. So he will not be able to do this, Alex. Robin has no utility. The times tick too far. And he's going to be looking for the kill, at least on the cross.
If anything, I'd prefer him to save the AK here. Like, you're going to have money for the AWP anyway. Keep the AK on the CT side. Have that in your hands. Have the headshot potential.
Yeah, definitely. I think you definitely need to carry that AK there. You have a very good point. Obviously, money is not really a factor here with the AWP, but maybe he just doesn't want the AK.
I'm sure someone on his team would have liked the AK, Victor. Someone would
Definitely.
Ah, well. It is going to be the M4s for Endpoint. They're sticking true to the CT weaponry for this last round of the first half of overtime. Whatever the hell you want to call it, it's Mighty Max running down Banana and Connor getting a kill blind. Shine, though, firing back. Early fights going back and forth, but Surreal is pushed all the way down mid, hoping he can get this backstab.
Oh, Surreal! There's the 40th kill. Tries to get the follow-up as well, but shut down very quickly after. And now just Isa left alone. Flash goes off the wall. Bankson. Isa trying to make a play out top middle. Nothing being spotted here. Player has fallen back second middle, I believe, though. And that is going to be a peek from Isa. Very well done. And a second as well. Somehow pulling that round off for Vexed. That is just pure filth from Isa.
He's had so many rounds where individually he has brought Vex through for a round win. They'll be thanking him if they can go on to win this one, because he's been huge individually in some of these moments. He's clearly been having the most highlight plays on the Vex side of things. Massive 1v2 there. And I thought he was done for. As soon as the X-ray got turned off and Crucial just seemed to disappear, I thought he was screwed in that spot. But he clears out the close left side. Endpoint can't get the timing right on the trade. Eyes is able to readjust. 2 headshots with the AK. And Vexed into the lead after this first OT. 1 round to the good. As always, Dinko, still anyone's game. But just the fact that Vexed, under this much pressure, are stepping up in some of these moments, it's really impressive for a team that hasn't had that much experience. They've been doing great for themselves so far. And they're going to go straight to the double AWP setup for this first CT round.
Yeah, this is really impressive from Vex. This is fantastic stuff. Endpoint are going to have the AK-47s out in full force, the AWP out for Crucial. Shine's going to be walking into the apartments looking for this kill close by. And Surreal, the victim of the AWP. A man advantage picked up for Vexed. They're looking for 22 rounds. This could be their 21st if they can just convert this. Robin goes up into the apartments. Shine is still around. He's just gone down boiler. Now Endpoint starting to send Connor up Banana. Flash around the half wall. Connor's going to peek with it. Seeing what's going around close by. But nothing is going on close top Banana. In fact, they have to wait until they round this corner into the B-bomb side itself. There's currently Docs here alongside Leaf. And this hold has been fantastic. At times.
Yeah, it's been very hit or miss. It's either winning them the round or losing them the round. Let's see which it is this time. Oh, well, they're behind the CT smoke, so I don't know if they're going to be able to even try their hold. Robin gets one through the smoke, bomb being planted, and Vex have to try the retake, but they still have loads of nades left to try and give this a go.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one on the B-hole, but nonetheless, 4v4, plenty of utility still left to come back into the bomb site. Crucial from this position, we've seen him do a lot of work so far. See if we can get anything done again. The hold still coming through. Endpoint haven't lost a player just yet, and that time is starting to tick. Vex, if they're going to pull this off, have to be very quick on this retake. Utility comes in. It's set up perfectly for them. Shine. Oh my god. Shine with 2 big kills. Leaf with 1 as well. Now suddenly it's just Robin trying to get the lineup. And he's got 3 through the smoke. He could get all 4 in this hole, but they've fallen away. And Robin has just won the round. Spraying through the smoke. Stops everybody on the defuse. And Endpoint walk away with the round win. That is probably the most ridiculous post-plant spray I've seen. It's just wild.
I don't think he was even trying to get that second kill, honestly. It didn't look like it. It looked like a straight bullet that just got a headshot somehow. God damn. It was such a good retake to begin with from Vexed as well. They used their mollies wisely. They mollied out those backside positions, and at that point, you only have to worry about Banana. That's the only spot they had to worry about, but they couldn't get the kill. Robin somehow makes it happen, even though they knew exactly where he was. And now Isa goes for a play down mid. Robin is not having that, though. He's feeling it right now. Another kill for Robin. but there was a kill for Vexed elsewhere. Just a 1-for-1 trade early. Excited to see if Robin's going to keep on going, though, Dinko.
So wild. How that's even a thing, really. Could have got all 5 kills. He could have hit that round, Alex. Wild stuff coming in from Robin. But slower around now from Endpoint. They have got a 4v4 established on the server. They're going to be turning their attentions over towards A. Oh, the library kill. That's a huge kill to find out. It's just one player left alone. It's just Volt in the pit.
Oh, okay. Smoke for the molly. Volt trying to play on the side of this. He's so screwed here. He's so screwed. Robin's going to swing from below. Surreal traded out from above, but they don't care. They've got the bomb down. And this time, Vex don't have many nades for the retake. Last time round, they were able to molly out those positions. They were able to clear out those angles. This time, they've just got to hope they can get the guess right and land some shots.
Well, Doc starts to walk forward. Molotov in the middle of the A-bomb site. Doc's wanting to hop up on top of this moto, but the kill from Connor and Robin secures 21 rounds for Endpoint. They are 1 away from victory and 1 away from breaking the hearts of Vexed. They've done so much to make this game competitive. They've brought Endpoint to the edge in so many of these rounds. And this honestly could have went either way, and still can, as Vex look to try and force another overtime. They're no strangers to the OT.
Sure, Endpoint are licking their lips right now with the prospect of being able to keep that undefeated streak going in this Prem season. They haven't lost a map yet, and apparently they don't want to lose a map now either. Robin taking early apartments control. Banana's been taken by Endpoint as well. They're getting aggro across the map, but Volt's been able to spot Surreal out early. That apartments lurk unsuccessful this time round. Now, Endpoint have got themselves onto top Banana. Again, that lurk smoke coming through to bait out some CT utility. That's worked for them, but there's only 1 smoke left for Endpoint here. They're really relying much more on the contact play, and Leaf has a molly in his hands. He almost dies because of it. Mighty Max moving onto the site, could get this first kill, and he is going to find it.
They do get the kills, and now Endpoint hold the man advantage into a round that could take them over the line, and a round that could find victory for them.
Oh, the
Vexed
bomb.
have done so much to make this competitive, but the bomb is stuck on the stairs. Isa nearly going down to Mighty Max. Robin holding the fallback, but it does get back second middle. Now, 43 seconds left. Robin has been given safe passage to the B-bomb site now, but 2 players still over here for Vexed. Shine close by with the AWP at Coffins. Volt in towards spawn side. There's still a chance here as he goes through. Volt makes the confident play and he drops the bomb. 1 kill for him. Quickly shut down by Connor, but now the AWP needs to step up. It needed that second kill. And now Isa, 1 HP, looking for the clutch, and it just won't happen. Endpoint walk away with Inferno. I say walk, but it's more of a limp. It's more of a shuffle. Endpoint not really looking that solid on this first map. It's time to see if they can bounce back. Going into the second, we'll be right back to break this one down.
Back yourself. You heard me. Don't back a horse. Don't back a stranger. Don't back a man who dresses like a shinobi. Back yourself. You gem. You rock. You star. You train like a pro. You should be paid like a pro.
Parsec lets you play your entire library of games on any device, anywhere, with anyone, at any time. It's easy. Install Parsec and boom, your PC game library is at your fingertips. Are you bored playing solo? Share a link with anyone and go multiplayer. No friends online? Jump into Parsec's arcade and play with people from all around the world. Parsec's available for most things with screens. Download now.
On my own when you spill that
Vexed surprise on map number 1 with a very competitive game here on Inferno, but it's still Endpoint who edge it out. It's Surreal showing up, Crucial delivering some impactful kills in that AWP, Alex. But Endpoint, I have to say, not looking like the team we expected them to be, but I want to talk about Vexed. A pleasant surprise coming into this final.
Absolutely. They definitely showed us that they're going to try and be competitive in this one, and they were, especially at the start of this game. They were definitely making the most of some of the mistakes that Endpoint were making, and then they had to continue to fight back, right? I think that was the most impressive thing, was that even heading into overtime and the late rounds of regulation, they were still stepping up, because these were the rounds where Endpoint were playing well. They were getting onto the bomb sites pretty often, and even then, Endpoint had to come out with some huge plays to win this game. Think of these rounds in overtime they had to win. Crucial stepping up with all these kills. Robin stepping up with that ridiculous round as well. There were so many moments where Endpoint had to rely on their individuals to come up with big plays to keep them in this game.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous how that even had to happen, though, for Endpoint. You know, we know they have that facet, but we didn't really need to see that a lot throughout the regular season. We didn't need to see these individuals show up to this level. We didn't need those hero plays from Robin through the smokes to deny the defuse 3 or 4 times. So it's pretty ridiculous how it's come to this point for Endpoint. I feel like they should have won this a little bit more cleanly, but this was the map pick of Vexed. And I have to say, the start that Endpoint got off to was pretty rough, right? They were on the start of that map. They were down 6 rounds in a row. They finally started to step it up. They managed to make the half a little bit more competitive, finish it 9-6. But still, not a great half coming out from them. They move on to the second half. It's a brilliant start for them. They're doing a lot of damage, Alex. But the problem then became their T side was figured out, right? There was a good adaptation from Vex. They stopped all of the fakes from working out, really. They weren't over-rotating. They weren't making the plays that Endpoint wanted them to do, right? And that was a big problem for Endpoint. They ended up in an overtime play having to come through.
Yeah, I also think heading into that game as well, you did see that at the start of the game, it felt like Vexed had a pretty good idea and a pretty good plan as to how they wanted to play out the rounds. And then as the game went on, you did start to see the pressure build on them in some of those rounds where it didn't look as composed, as calm from them. And that's to be expected. But they did step up in some of those overtime rounds as well. They did prove that they had the individuals. Obviously, we were talking about Isa with some of those incredible players. But in general, I think Leaf had another good performance. He's been a real good player for this team, I think, throughout the whole season. He's just been solid for them. He's almost like they're Surreal to some extent, it feels like, where he's always showing up for them. And that's another good sign for them. I still think in general, though, heading into this train, this is got to be Endpoint territory, right?
Yeah, it definitely has to be. And a big part of their success, like you just said, was Surreal. So I think we can bring up some stats here to take a look at, Alex, because when you look at this guy, he was just on fire. 40 kills coming in from him, 26 deaths, 6 assists, 101 ADR across that entire map as well. So this guy's having a great game. And I have to see more of that coming into this map. But in a way, I want to see more of this, but I also don't. I don't want Endpoint to have to rely on Surreal getting 40 kills. I want to see more players stepping up through the UK scene, right? This is where Mighty Max has started to step up on an individual level throughout the regular season. He was getting outclassed a lot of the time over in that first map, unfortunately for him. He was really finding it hard to get into the game early on. But like you said, moving on to trade, this is more of a comfort ground for Endpoint. This is where Crucial's been doing a lot of work. And I have to say, the AWPer in the form of Shine was a little bit disappointing for the majority of Inferno. He had a moment where he stepped up towards the end there, but I feel like for the most part, he was pretty quiet in comparison to the AWP of Crucial.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think especially since Shine got that early kill at the start of the game and we were getting excited, and then he didn't really get any kills really throughout that whole first half. I think he ended on 5 or something. At least in overtime, he stepped up in a few of those rounds, though. That's a nice sign. And we also saw Vex go to that double AWP setup much more than Endpoint did. I don't know if I really remember Endpoint ever double AWPing there. And we know that Train is a map where you're probably going to see those double AWPs come through if you have the money for it. That's the big question, though. Can Vexed even get to that point? Because I assume Vexed are starting on the CT side, considering it is Endpoint's pick. They get the choice of side, at least. So if they do start on that CT side, will they even ever get that money to double AWP? There's definitely a world in which Endpoint just kind of run them over. Because if you can't compete with an opponent on Train, they can just run out through A main and just kind of gun you down in a bunch of rounds. We almost saw UMX doing that against Vexed in that previous matchup.
Yeah, we did. And I think coming into this, Endpoint will definitely be looking to just make a statement, right? They're going to need to have a big win here, slap them down, make it look easy, stop them from getting double figures, try and win this 16-9. They have big talk coming into this, saying they were going to win this series 3-0. They're not going to drop a map in the Prem. So far, so good. They've won Inferno, not in the cleanest fashion, not in the fashion they would have wanted to do it, but they won the map. Now we go on to Trin. The individuals are warmed up. They're not going to get a bad start, I hope, in the same fashion that they did previously. But we head here on to Trin, Alex. This is a map that we've always seen Endpoint look pretty comfortable on. And Vexed, they're going to have a hard job here on this map.
That they are. We're expecting this to be favored for Endpoint, but at least Vex get that CT start onto our second map of the grand final. Vex making it close on the first one. They'll be hoping they can go one further on this one. It is Endpoint, though, already leaning onto the B side of the map here on this T side. They have a smoke ready to go down the ramp, and they have a very good chance of getting that bomb down. Vexed are just playing it safe, and they're playing this for retake. Volt is just looking for info, and he will have to give up the site.
Yeah, just a quick inner hit here from Endpoint. Very simple plays. Deep smokes coming through, allowing some control to be taken, but Eyes are just swinging on by. Leaf as well, getting a kill on the USPs. And the initial kills have all gone Vex's way. It's a two-man advantage in for the defensive side, hoping for this retake to work out as well. It's all falling apart here for Endpoint. They haven't found a single kill in this pistol round. And corner rattling in behind, whiffing shots completely, Alex. And our Docs, well, he's going to be able to add a kill to his tally. Mighty Max alone, first kill in for him. He's something done for Endpoint, but round will go in favor of Vexed. And the other day when I was casting at Endpoint in the DreamHack Masters qualifier, they were trying to qualify for the Masters event. They were one game away from doing it. They were playing against Gambit. They lost pretty much every single pistol round, Alex. They looked rough on those pistol rounds. And yet again here, still looking bad for them. Haven't won a single pistol round to open up the game. I think they won the pistol round in the second half on the previous map on Inferno, but these starts into the matches are not been looking great.
Let's hope they can make up for it in the 4-spy then, Dinko. You said earlier they've been pretty good in these 4-spies at least. That's always an upside if you've been struggling in the pistols. They've got a couple of Tech 9s, an AK out for Connor, and some early fights to be taken over towards Ivy. Maybe not, though. The smoke is going to deny them. They won't get that chance. I think in that previous pistol round as well, Endpoint there had only that one smoke, and they didn't use it to get down the ramp. They used that smoke towards those back trains instead, which kind of worked to get them onto the site, but then they were relying on that Molotov to keep those CTs in connector, and that didn't really happen. Vex were able to peek out, get some kills. That seemed to be the biggest issue. Mighty Max, how has he got away with that? How is he still alive? Leaf out of ammo, and that's an M4 recovered.
Well, Surreal trying to hold on. Peeking out from T-Con, gets the one kill for Isa, and Endpoint are into the advantageous situation right now. And it's going to be Volt and Shine trying their best to pull this round back in favor of Vex, but it is going to be very difficult to do this. This is not looking like a feasible opportunity right now. Volt starts to walk forward from Connector. The MP9 makes one little shot, but nothing coming his way. Endpoint would have to make a monumental error and give as many fights to the defensive side as possible to make this retake work. And well, there's one. Mighty Max giving it. Volk getting a second as well. Okay, this MP9 doing a little bit of work, getting the money in, but this time is running down, and the chances of winning the round gone. It's going to be a round the board for Endpoint. Like you said, they had to make up for the pistol loss in the 4-spy win. They've done that. And we'll go into this next round, but there is still a chance for Vex to cause them problems with these saved weapons, especially with that Galil.
Not bad, not bad. Get that Galil back. So 1-1 after the early rounds, and Vexed having to buy up what they can. And this is the scary situation I was talking about, Dinko, where if you can't get that money established early on the CT side, it can really start to get out of control for you. Especially because Train is probably one of the few maps left that we can say is pretty solidly CT-sided, for the most part. We're in an era now of Counter-Strike where no map is massively one-sided anymore. You know, the most you're kind of expecting is maybe a 9-6, maybe a 10-5 half, but this is still a map where you should be doing most of your work on that CT side for the most part. So if Vex don't win this round, they could fall quite far behind early. And Surreal, Oh, wow, okay, then he gets the kills eventually. Made a meal of it, but he made up for it with that transfer. Shine gets one through the smoke, though. Shine needs to calm down. Mighty Max is still there. It's into a 2v2 after some shenanigans at the start of this round.
Yeah, definitely looking very crazy right now. Vexed have been able to do a lot of work off the back of Shine, and that is worrying for Endpoint. They thought they had done enough to get back into a comfortable enough position after winning that second round force buy, but it has been a battle so far, and this round is not done yet. 49 seconds left. Volt and Doc still alive. Volt with the MP9 has just taken down Surreal, and it's all on Mighty Max. Running into this A-bomb site, trying to win out this round. You get across, you'll get the bomb planted. Now an AK in the hands of Volt. That's the problem here. Dox is up on top of the brown trend. He's dead. He's out of there. No one's low HP anyway. But now Mighty Max in the 1v1. Volt running forward. Has the kit. Molotov. And, of course, the HE grenade. So he can still win this round. But Mighty Max's positioning is very solid right now. He's wrapped around the ore bomb. Defuse starting to be stuck right now. Mighty Max has to go. He has to go around the corner now. And he's got the headshot. Just the last split second. Endpoint will win the round. But these rounds are ridiculously close, Alex.
Way too close from Endpoint's perspective, I'm sure. But at least they get the round win. They can be happy with that. Surreal there really struggled on those first two fights, but he was able to keep his cool, get those first two kills, even if it wasn't as clean as it normally is from him. He does step up. Great shot from Leaf. Surreal's able to get a spray down before being traded, but Leaf is there for the fast reply. And now the smoke down ramp from Crucial. He's got the bomb, so he's going to commit to this. They go straight into this B bomb site. Volt trying to see if he can lock this down, but he's not got the right angle to fight. Finally goes for it. Still looking for further action. Eventually gets the kill, but that bomb will be planted.
Bomb planted and locked in. Robin through the smoke with a headshot, catching Volt. The player that made things very difficult for Endpoint in the previous round is out of the way. Now 3v2 for Endpoint to try and close this one, to add 3 to the tally, to try and win this war of attrition that has gone on for the first few rounds of this game. And now they will back away. Vex realize the time in this round is done. The time in the sun is over. And it will be Endpoint taking a third round, adding it to the tally. And damn, these rounds have been ridiculously close to start things off, Alex, but now we're starting to see Endpoint have a bit more room to be comfortable going into these next ones. You'd hope. I mean, there is still a CSGO weapon over here on the AK. I could still do something, but overall, we should be looking at Endpoint taking a fourth.
Definitely interested to see if Endpoint keep going back to that B site as well, because even though we saw Vexed play this map previously in the playoffs, we didn't really see them tested too much on the B site. If you remember that game against UMX, UMX were just going out through A main in almost every round. So seeing Endpoint go back to B and finding some success early is definitely a good sign. Volt getting aggressive early in this one, though. Surreal's holding down the B side of the map. And we won't get any fights, but we will get a fight over at Ivy instead. Robin with the first kill. These pistols not doing too much early. There is that one AK of Leaf. And Volt continues to try and get aggressive. Again, not too many fights, though, and Leaf is caught in the back. That's the AK dropped.
Yeah, that was the one weapon that we look towards to maybe do something for the defensive side, but it's out of there, and now Endpoint are going to be taking a fourth round on the board. Vex sitting back with just the deagle now. Thing is, Alex, they pretty much had the weapons to be able to compete in pretty much every single round, right? They haven't had one just full out eco where it's just been default pistols. So we are going to see a buy come in here from Vex. It's going to be the AWP out. The M4 is out in play. Endpoint's money, I mean, because of that last round and them being able to win a few rounds now in a row and gradually becoming more comfortable, they actually have a good bit of money left now. So even if they lose this round, they'll still be feeling comfortable. Over for Vex, that's not the case, right? They lose this round, they're down to the eco, and that will be a proper eco where Endpoint can then build up on the T side, start to look very solid, start to look confident, and get themselves 5 rounds most likely, maybe even 6.
That's what Endpoint will be hoping for. And if they can get rolling like that early in this game, oh, it's going to be even more difficult for Vex to dig deep. I mean, they were really good at staying competitive on that first map, but I think it's a whole different thing when you lose the map that you picked in such close fashion, and then you start to fall behind early on the next map as well. That's so hard to come back from. And they're already losing the fights in this very round. Surreal getting an all-important kill, puts his team a man to the good, and Robin's flanking round the back of the back trains. Mighty Max gets the kill going up the ladder. Robin with another one. And this is just a save. This is nothing for Vexed here. They get completely flanked out on that A site.
And it's really disappointing as well, because the start of this game has been so close, right? A lot of these lower tier buy rounds going very, very close, right down to the wire. But as soon as the guns came out, I was kind of hoping Vex would be able to compete a little bit more, but it has been a pretty dominant showing in this gun round. Luckily, Volt has been really solid, right? He's been looking crisp, and he's getting another one. 3 kills. He wants this AK. He wants this AK so bad into the next round, and Endpoint threw everybody at him, and he just dispels them all. Endpoint will go to the next round, still able to purchase, of course, but that is not a bad job from Volt in terms of holding. Vex will lose the round up, 5-1 up for Endpoint. They'll be looking to try and get themselves 6 rounds. It's the best opportunity to do that. Vex having a chance to pick up a couple of upgraded pistols, but they'll mainly be looking for the money.
Volt could either drop some guns for his teammates or just keep all this money, make sure they can get that AWP, maybe even 2 AWPs into the next, because Shine is keeping some money of his own. But it is mainly going to be down to Volt, who's just going to stack the A site in this round. He's been playing B in a few of these rounds so far. This time he's going to try and make something happen on the A side of things. Ooh, Connor actually landed that shot through the wall. Shine chunked down to half health early, getting up close and getting dealt with. Robin and Surreal both finding early fights. And again, that AK's been dropped, so this should be a pretty clean round for Endpoint now.
Well, Leaf looking for a crucial. The kill comes in from the Deagle. Now man advantage over on this T side, looking pretty solid. Connor wall banging through the tray, and that is going to be a follow-up kill that allows Endpoint a very comfortable round here. We'll look at Isa though. This could be one. That is the tally just inside of this smoke right now. Surreal just playing on the opposite side of it. Mighty Max ballistic stats on the kill, and Surreal with the smoke spam. 6-1 on the board. You can see it. Surreal just kind of limits the positions, has an idea that there's probably a player inside of the smoke, goes to the spray, walks away with the kill. But now, here comes the investment from Vexed again. It's a double-up setup immediately being pulled out, Alex.
That's what Volt was saving his money for. Make sure they can get those 2 AWPs through. Shine with full nades, Docs with pretty much a full buy. No weaknesses for Vexed anymore. No reason that they can't win this round. And they are getting aggressive into Pop Dog. Surreal has to be very careful here. He's almost caught. But some good movement on display on that ladder just to get away as quickly as possible. That's the nice thing about being on the ladders as well. You can very quickly just slide away. Very difficult to hit you when you do that sort of move. So Surreal gets away safely. And Vex can't hold Pop Dog. Molly goes down. Surreal's going to get down the ladder, realizing that that position is clear. Endpoint getting an early kill from Connor. He has been traded, but the Ivy presence is going to be such an annoying spot for Vex to deal with. They don't have anyone committed there, but they've got another kill. Surreal goes down, and now it's all about this Ivy flank. Oh, great shot from Max.
Yeah, really good shot from Max, and he wants another one. He wants more where that came from. 50 seconds left. Robin's about to come out of T-Con. Currently a player just at Pop Dog. That's Isa. Just crossed him behind the smoke. Robin's going to re-smoke it off. And Isa is now locked in here. 40 seconds in play. Nade coming through. They know Isa is in Pop Dog. Using a lot of utility to try and force him out of there, or like keep him in, should I say, and do the damage. They know that if they can keep him trapped inside of that Pop Dog area, that's one player they know and they can tame him. The other two, that's a problem. Crucial with the kill. Isa finally delivers death. He peeks out in towards Pop Dog, tries to take the fight at the A side. It doesn't work out for him. 9 Volt and Dog's having to save into the next round, and 7 rounds for Endpoint. That's what you're talking about, Alex. You know, the mental game now starts for Vex, right? You've just lost your map pick in such a close fashion where you feel like you probably should have taken it over the line, and now you're going down very early on train going into the next one. This is just looking very rough for Vex.
Especially after getting some early kills in that round, some early success. It looked okay for them to begin with, but that flank round from Ivy just nets them 1 kill on the Endpoint side that makes all the difference. That one shot from Mighty Max gets them into a much more comfortable spot. That was always going to be the problem position for Vexed there as well. They didn't have anyone who could really fully focus on Ivy because they lost a couple of their players early over on the other side of A. And now with the saved AWP and the saved rifle, Vexed will be looking to do what they can in this next one. 7-1 down. Vexed are going to need to start winning rounds sooner rather than later, and they've got an early kill. Crucial's just landed a no-scope, though. I think that was down Pop Dog that he got that kill with the AWP. Connor's still sneaking out through A main as well, but Vexed have been able to take a man advantage here.
They have, and this is definitely a really important round for them coming up. They need to find success in this one. Connor catching up the head of Isaac up. We'll pull that man advantage back into an equilibrium again. Volt has been pretty mechanically sound so far. It feels like he's been pretty well neutralized when it comes to the actual gun rounds, though. So I want to see him do something here. He's going to come around the back of T-Con. Dox is just taking down Surreal. This flank could be huge coming in. Leaf needs to hold this. Leaf gets the bomb dropped, and now it's all on Connor in a 1v2, and he's been spotted by Volt. This flank could end it.
And it will end him. Nice patience there from Vexed. Even though Leaf drops the bomb in connector, he knows that Volt is on that flank. Like you were saying, that flank was always going to be a great spot to be in. It was always going to be one that Endpoint were going to struggle to deal with. So Leaf doesn't even try to hold the bomb. He knows that he just needs to make sure the man can't run through connector to B. He knows that as long as the player goes back to A, Volt should have him dead to rights, and he does. Vex get a second round on the board. They can go back to this double AWP setup, but Endpoint can switch up the pace. A bit of early aggression, and Crucial gets the first kill.
Well, Crucial with the kill. Shine following up with the itchy grenade. Now it's a 4v4 as Shine will peek down in towards T-Con. He's looking for this kill. But hasn't come around the corner just yet. Finally, he will get his chance. Shine, small opportunity, but not taken. And now he starts to walk forward to the brown train, using the E-box as cover as the attack comes out from Endpoint. Connor will go down early on. Shine able to follow up, and he's looking for another one here as well. He's got it. He follows up, and Shine shuts down the round. 4 kills collected, and Vex delivered around finally off the back of that AWP.
Close quarters with the AWP as well. Behind E-box of all places, Shine gets all those kills. Both of these AWPers have been willing to take fights up close. And normally on trade, you're happy to just sit back and take those longer range fights where you know the AWP is probably going to have the advantage. But getting up close and personal can also do the trick. Especially if you're going to land shots like that. Great round from Shine. Getting to see more from Vex now. Some of their players starting to show up. It's got to continue, though. That's the issue for Vex. They've got to keep up this level of play, really, for the rest of the half to be happy with how this is going to go for them. 2 players stacked into Pop Dog this time round. We also have 2 players from Vexed rotated over to B. So A main and Ivy are 2 positions which are going to be really important in this round from the Vex side of things. One of the players in Pop is watching A main. With a couple of early smokes going down towards B, Vexed have to use some nades of their own to make sure they don't get overrun. And they're really falling for this. This is a fake from Endpoint. A couple of players faking this B site, but the rotate is arriving. And as Endpoint go back to A, they could have a much easier time taking this A site, especially with Connor in behind. This is a free kill, and this could be a free bomb site. Connor goes down, but Dox is alone.
Well,
Ooh.
Dox, Isaac, and Volt finding a couple of kills now, and that has just flipped it right back in favor of Vexed. That's a big haul coming in from them. Mighty Max and Robin now trying their best to deliver this round for Endpoint, but Vexed are so far ahead in this one, it just looks impossible, to be honest. Robin is going to have to go huge. That's a big kill to find. Robin just peeking out, dropping Dox, who's playing under heaven. Thought the AWP for sure was going to get that kill, but Robin fighting back, doing a good job. Now Mighty Max and Robin will try and win this round. They need to be aware of that Pop Dog position. They definitely are, but 9 seconds, the peak comes out. Isaac gets the lineup, gets both kills, and 4 rounds added to the tally for Vex Gaming. They're starting their fight back here, And this is important now. He's a lot of rounds now where at Endpoint, you know, they should be taking them over the line. That's one of the rounds where, you know, you have seen them ahead and they fell apart. That's something that was evident on Inferno. Hasn't been as evident here on Train, but that's a little sign that Vex will be able to compete coming into this one.
Definitely more like it. I thought that Endpoint had the right idea there. It looked like the issue was dropping down Pop. I thought they were just going to be able to double drop and get that one kill and get towards the A site. That didn't happen for them, though. Eyes are really stepping up in that position. And even with all those kills going in favor of Vexed, you saw the round come close there. If they just have one molly, maybe, for Pop Dog, one smoke to be able to not have to worry about that position, Endpoint still could have won that round, even with a lot of kills going against them. 7-4 lead for Endpoint either way. And they will be down to a weaker buy in this one. Only the one AK in the hands of Robin. And this might be the time for Endpoint to go back to the B site. They haven't gone towards B too often in terms of full commitments in these gun rounds. They're going to try it in this one. There are 2 CTs here already. But even then, as long as this execute is decent, they should be in good shape to get a bomb plant at the very least.
Oh, Mighty Max starting to walk up through this smoke. The Tech 9 at the ready. Shine has taken down Surreal to start things off, and the spray will catch out Mighty Max. 2-man advantage now locked in. On this Vex team, they want a little bit more from this as well, Alex, if possible. Robin, Crucial, and Connor trying their best to make this one work, but Endpoint are going to have to dig deep into this B-bomb side. They're going to have to dig deep and hold the defense on the post plant, but Volt has been fantastic. A second kill picked up. He wants another one. Volt just running right through them all. That's 3 collected, and the pistols, I mean, the goal coming into this one was to get that bomb down and do as much damage as possible. They get the bomb plant. They don't get a single kill, though. And now it's 7-5 on the board. The money is still not quite where you want it if you're over on Endpoint, but it's good enough to get the buyout. So we'll be seeing the full purchase up, the utility coming out, be at a good enough level. And Vex, this is their best chance, really, Alex. You know, if they break down this buy, they will be in a position where they will take control of the economy, and possibly even the half at that point.
Wow, Shine is just running into A main with a molly in hand. You're right, this is their chance to get control of the game, and Shine wants to try and take control of the round. Surreal is going to burn alive. After Shine dies, he gets the kill with the incendiary. I was wondering how that wasn't spreading to Surreal, but eventually it starts to tickle him, and he does go down. So a 1-for-1 trade early after Shine tries to make the play. Not an awful start to the round for Vexed, but this does leave the B side of the map somewhat susceptible right now. Volt is having to play all the way back. He's the only player towards B. If he gets forced to play back into Connector, that could be a real issue here for Vexed. Volt's got to make sure he gets out of Connector early if this B play is going to come through, and it's looking more and more likely. Endpoint about to push this B site, and Volt is trapped in the backside of Connector. This is going to make the retake a lot more difficult.
Volt has it all to do now from Connector. And now Connor is pushed up through the oil train. This becomes very difficult for the defense. Leaf is about to come around this corner, and Connor is just holding on from the oil train. He had a good position, but he doesn't get a kill. And the reply, at least, was there early by Crucial. He did get that AWP kill coming through. So 3v3. Leaf starts to move forward. Crucial looking for another kill on this AWP. Left Mighty Max close to the bomb, just letting it tick, letting the players run into his crosshair. He's got 1 kill. Now swinging out for more. He wants to take the fight. He sees them retreating. He wants to stop the Civ coming in, and he gets another kill on the exit frag. Now it's Doc sprinting away with this AWP, getting it into the next round, and Endpoint pick up a crucial round win.
Yeah, I think Volt there playing back in Connector, it's just going to make that retake so difficult, right? Because that's the first rotation point you want from your teammates. And then if they are going to rotate through Connector, they're all just going to kind of get stuck in that spot. And it also allowed Connor to push into the back lines in the first place. Maybe if Volt is playing behind those trains, he can get into a position where he spots Connor and he doesn't allow that push to come through. But as soon as Endpoint get into those back lines, it becomes a lot easier to be able to hold in the post plant. This time, though, Docs on the AWP has got the early kill. Endpoint were going to go for a fast play. It looks like they've been slowed down slightly, though.
I have to also say, Alex, something we didn't touch on there. That bomb plant, that bomb explosion actually killed 2 players over on Endpoint.
It did.
So their money is now in a very peculiar spot right now. So if they do lose this, they will be left with nothing. So another chance here for Vexed. Actually favored into this round. There's no utility at all left on Endpoint. 2 flashes and 1 smoke. Now, that really does leave you with literally an inner hit. That's all you can do right now. Smoke down lower, get the flashes out, and hope that you can hit this in a bomb site. A lot of damage done from that grenade as well. Look at Crucial, down to 44. Currently, there is a very heavy presence on this B-bomb site. Flashes go up. They're using the 1 smoke still. They're going to run out on towards the site. And now they have to figure out what they're going to do. Endpoint just have no idea what they can do right now. The lack of utility really costing them here. And they have lost another player. So they're down into a 4v3. What they hoped for was fake the B-bomb site with a couple of flashes that sprint into this A-bomb site down the ladder. And their initial player that they had left over there, I believe it was Connor, actually couldn't do anything. He just died immediately. So Endpoint then immediately call it off. Like, hold on. Now we have to go back to B with no utility. I think I would have rather just had them commit into the inner site than to deal with, Alex. Just start with the smoke down the ramp, throw the flashes over, and just take fights. Now you're just walking dry into a bomb site, and this is exactly what you can expect. It's getting picked apart piece by piece.
Oh, Crucial faking the bomb plant, gets the kill up close. At least he dies before time. And yeah, you're right in that the issue there for Endpoint is obviously as soon as you get countered on that attempted early aggression, as soon as the first player falls towards the A site and you don't feel comfortable going for that push, that they just had no nades left, basically. They had such limited options at that point. So credit to Vex for getting that early kill, for making Endpoint so uncomfortable that they thought they couldn't push out and commit to their fast A play they wanted to run at the start of the round. The backup plan not really there for Endpoint in this one. And now it's just 1 AK into the last round of the half. Vexed have done a really great job at coming back into this game, Dinko. We've got another competitive map on our hands.
We do, and we've got a good grand final. You know, we kind of were worrying coming into this one that this would be a very one-sided best of 5 where Endpoint walk away and just look very solid. But so far, a combination of Vex playing well and Endpoint having a few weaknesses on an individual front, I feel, at moments. This has been solid to watch, honestly, and Vex are doing a really good job at bringing the fight to them. And I think this is just a testament to the level of CS rising up in all the regions. You know, the UK, wherever, Alex, it feels like we generally just have a favorite coming into the final. And you can kind of call it, but this is really close now. And this is exactly what we wanted to see. Mighty Max and the Tech 9 doing a good bit of work. Eyes are looking to pull it back, though. In the middle of the site, he will go down after the 1 kill, but luckily Volt had already taken a kill back. So we are on a 3v3. 40 seconds left in play. Robin's still on this site. Will go for the bomb plant. He will secure that. And Mighty Max just hiding in behind the E-box as well. Somehow Endpoint has got themselves into a situation, Alex. They might just walk away with 9 at this half. This was not looking like the best of buys coming into the last round, but they are doing it. And this ult needs to deliver.
Shine up close with the first shot. Doc's rounding the corner, but Crucial gets him. Ult recovered into his hands, and that's a gun he will be very happy to see. Smoke for the bomb as Vex realize the time is running down. Shine's trying to clear this out, but Crucial hasn't got the clear line of sight. Crucial gets the first kill, but the defuse comes in. The knife in the smoke, not gonna happen. Vex makes sure to win one more round. They get 7 at the half, and it's still anyone's game here on Train. We'll be back with the second half after this.
Come on.
Millions of gamers rage quit every day. Mountain Dew Game Fuel's got you covered. Game Fuel is specially crafted with ingredients shown to improve accuracy and alertness. Another one saved by Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make me feel something.
Welcome back to the second half, ladies and gentlemen. Time to get things underway. Endpoint leading the way by one single round, Alex. Now, this is not the performance we wanted to see out of Endpoint. This is not the team we expected to see at this final, but I'm pleasantly surprised as to what Vexed have brought us to the table. This has been looking solid from them. I'm looking forward to seeing more as they run straight in towards the bomb site. And initial kills coming in from Isa. Volt able to follow up. Doc's getting one as well. And now Robin in the middle of the site caught. And this is just clean. Not a single kill has come in from Endpoint into this pit surround.
Wow, that is fast. Leaf closing out the round at the end. Fast A play from Vexed. They get between those trains to begin with, and Endpoint just didn't seem to have a way to react to that. They didn't seem to have a way to deal with that. Robin had to try and walk round to the front of the bomb train to try and find some semblance of cover, some chance to try and make a play. Did not happen, though. And Vexed have gone on some streak here in this game. I think they were 7-1 down at one point, and they've come right back to bring this into a close match. We've got the scouts out for Endpoint. We know these can be good on train, but they've got 3 of them. So they've really got to make sure they keep their range with these scouts. Mighty Max looking for a fight early. Has to put down a defensive smoke. Vex will just take their time. That's a nice nade, though. Doing a good bit of damage onto Volt. Robin's going to push into Pop Dog. That nade not going to land. Robin will now take his position. Knowing that some nades have been used, he knows he'll be a little bit safer.
Under a minute left in play. Let's run out in towards the A bomb site, trying to come through. Mighty Max attempting to hold with a scout. He's done well to pick up that burst one, crucial as well. So we know these scouts can be good on this map, but they aren't delivering, Alex. A man advantage in play, and another shot being landed. Another kill from Connor. This is all on to Isa and Leaf to try and rattle this round back in favor of Vexed.
Ooh, 2 Vex players very low, but Isa gets a good position to catch Robin off guard. They're going to need more of that. More of those unexpected angles, and Isa gets a second kill. The Galil coming through in full force, and Surreal also caught on the site. Isa with a quad kill. He saves his team again, and he has had so many impact rounds in this series, Dinko. That puts him top of the board, 15 kills, top of the server right now, and Vexed are into the lead. What a comeback this has been from the Vex side. Even in that round, they had to come back. They're the kings of the comeback right now, Dinko.
Vexed are doing a lot of hard work in this game. This has not been an easy showing for them. This has not been a map where, or a series where they're going to be given an easy time of things. They've had to fight for every inch that they've got, and they have done it. They have pulled it to overtime over on Inferno. They did lose, but they were battling back, and they're making this close and getting a whole lot of respect on the way. Mighty Max has got 1 kill from the USP. A 4v3 with a mad advantage in play for Vexed. They're going to be locking in 10 rounds. Double figures reached first by Vexed here on train.
Another kill from Isa. Mighty Max with the USP. Has the Mac 10 as well. He's trying to run up close. Robin's got the kill at range. Mighty Max has just run onto the site, though, so he's dead to the bomb. He's trying to see if he can get away safely, but Ox has just got him in the head. Robin will just be able to save a dig, and that is it. Endpoint will be buying into this round, though, so nothing really to do with that deagle. Vexed, again, coming back into this game, Dinko, just not what we were expecting whatsoever. I think We've got to give Vexed a good bit of credit for, again, coming back into this game, but we've also got to see if they can come through in crunch time, right? We've got to see if they can continue to come back into this, and Dox has taken early damage. In fact, he's dead. Connor gets him with the molly.
Connor burning him away. And now Endpoint. Well, they are currently a man up in the round. Man up looking solid right now. As Vex Gaming start their walk down into this B bomb site. Currently Surreal sitting here in the middle of the B bomb site itself. Robin about to walk down on into Pop Talk, but this information being gathered is all leading towards this B hit, and Crucial, he's got the kill. Eyes are walking down. Now the AK-47 has jumped out. Surreal hear the footsteps. He'll go for the spam, and Surreal peeks around the corner. Crucial with the kill as well. It is just Leaf on the other side of the map. And this is more like it from Endpoint. This is more like the round we want to see from them. This is more like the round we expect to see from them. And it's going to be 10-9 on that board. Endpoint is secure it. The Leaf. Oh my god, he should have got that kill. Connor somehow turning and finding the headshot. 9 rounds for Endpoint though. Money. Bit of a weird spot right now for Vex. Like they can go for a couple of pistols here, Alex, but not much more.
I mean, Volt could buy an AK if he really wanted to, Dinko. I wouldn't advise it. If he wanted to try and go for that CIS style buy, he could try and be the hero. He's going to play it safer, though. Just go for the dig. Get a few pistols together. I would have liked maybe a couple of nades at least. If you're going to go for this B-sided play, maybe just have one flash, one smoke. That could help a lot to try and get that bomb down. Now you're kind of just running into an AWP. You're kind of just running out, and Crucial doesn't land a shot early. Surreal gets one on the spray, but they've got the timing right. They're going to get the bomb down, and that's really job done for Vexed in this round. Anything else is a bonus. I don't think they'll be getting much else. Shine with one shot from above. Crucial's AWP dropped momentarily, but Endpoint are about to close on his position. He will eventually fall. Endpoint will get that AWP back, but Vexed get the extra money they were looking for.
Yeah, the money was everything in this round for Vex. They needed the money going into this next one to be able to get their fully fledged buy, to get that AWP out, to get the utility in play. And now moving forward, and we'll try and get an 11th round out of their belt. If they lose this round, though, they're right back to another economic deficit. Money's okay here for Endpoint. Even if they lose, they'll still probably have enough to get a decent enough buyout here. So we look at this round as a very important one for Vexed. This round really does decide the next few rounds here that are coming up. You know, if Endpoint win this, they should go on to get around 2 rounds. So they should be looking at around 12-10 scoreline if they win this round. Whereas if Vex pick it up, then, you know, obviously they'll still have to battle against the buy in the next, but it gives them that opportunity, sets them up for that possible success to grab control of this T side. It's not going to be an easy battle for either of these teams. I think we got that sign early on in Inferno, and later on over on that overtime. So we know that this is not going to be an easy battle for any of these teams at any point in this best of 5 grand final. So each and every round counts. And we'll see if Vex can get anything done heading quickly with a couple of players up towards this brown holes. It's just a bit of a default coming through here. They've already got Leaf down and Pop Dog.
Gets mollied out of it quite quickly, though. And, oh, great shot from Connor up on top of the green train. Spots eyes are early. Gets that headshot to go his way. Robin's still playing up close towards Pop Dog, but not pushing into that position. He can take it back for his team, though. And with Vex going down a man early, they're going to look to see if they can maybe run some sort of backup plan in this round. Currently focused around this A site. Mighty Max is the man who's been secondary AWPing so far for Endpoint. He's generally been playing in towards Ivy. This round, he's playing closer to the site itself. And Vex still not pressuring a whole lot on the map here. They're waiting to see if Shine can maybe find a pick. But right now, Endpoint are just playing super safe, sitting back, holding their angles, and Max has already got another kill.
Max looking good. He wants another one here on this AWP. Peeking down into his T-com, but he looks away at the wrong time, and that allows Dox to take his head right off. Now Connor stepping up for the defensive side. Robin gets nothing. Not a single kill from the stop sign. So Crucial runs over the top. He'll look to deny the bomb plant. He's got the planter off, but no kill.
Surreal arriving just in time as well. Helps his teammate Connor with the final kill from the back lines. Good shot from Connor. 3 kills for him with that AK. A bit of a quieter time for Connor, I think, in this game, but he's doing what he has to for his team. He's doing his job nicely. In that round, certainly stepping up to give his team the lead. And now Vexed Money again is starting to get into a troublesome position. This is somewhat reminiscent of Inferno right now, Dinko, where it feels like Endpoint are just going to start pulling away at the crucial time. But on Inferno, Vexed were able to take us to overtime. So maybe they've got something up their sleeve here. Isaac certainly has. He's got an early kill.
Mighty Max now at Ivy. That's an initial kill going in favor of Vexed. A decent enough sign, but it is going to be difficult to take down the rest of the defense. Mighty Max thinks better of going back and trying to retake that fight. He misses the initial shot and just backs away. Concedes the position, tosses out a Molotov to delay, and repositions around the back. It is going to be crucial now holding for this peek out Ivy. And we'll see how these players do ship up. Crucial with one. Walkie to the smoke, Docs to his death. And he can catch out so. No one's really expecting much of a match out of. Let's be real, Alex. Coming into this one, Endpoint are a massive favorite. They have dominated everybody in the regular season. You know, they take it a little bit easier in some matches. Maybe you see a couple of rounds they should have won, go the other way. But this has been a true test for Endpoint. They are really being tested across the board right now. They're not having a great time. Vexed are just elevating their performance to that of Endpoint's. There's no way that anybody was expecting this to come through to this level. Vexed are really bringing it home right now, and they had a chance to win Inferno, but they didn't get it over the line. In overtime, they dropped it. Could they battle back and win the map pick of Endpoint? Could this be the first map that Endpoint drop in the ESL Premiership? They haven't dropped an entire map all season, Alex. This has been a very dominant showing from Endpoint. This team are in the top 30 in the world, and Vexed are bringing the fight to them.
A lot of pressure on this round for Vexed, though, if they want to keep that up. If they win this one, then they can really start to challenge. They can really put Endpoint into an uncomfortable position here on Train, here on Endpoint's map pick. But Connor's got the first kill. A switch up of the secondary AWP could make all the difference here. Connor's got two from Connector. Smoke down to the bomb site. Connor with a third. Bomb being planted, but Connor almost gets the no-scope from above. It's all on Volt anyway. He does some damage. He almost goes down. He's trapped into this position, though, and Endpoint know exactly where he is. The nade might get that first kill. Crucial is going to go down early, but the tap to the bomb means Volt has to go, and he gets a second kill. Flash coming through. Connor closing the distance. Connor goes for the fight and wins it. He's able to switch out the AWP for a rifle, and Connor steps up in that round. What a quad kill.
Connor the stand-in, standing tall for Endpoint. He's had a few rounds now where he's gone and got them the round win single-handedly. He's top fragging 19 and 16. He's having a great time. You know, he will be a player that doesn't have as much pressure on him, right? He's not really got anything to play for on this team other than just helping them out. I think making a good case for himself, maybe to be picked up by a better team. I think Connor is a player that could easily play at Endpoint's level, right? He's shown that before. He's gone to LAN events and played well against Mouse Sports. You know, he's shown that he can compete against some of the best teams. So I think it's a great time for him to kind of show what he's made of. And he is showing up so far here on Train. Crucial, getting that initial kill. Vexed, this is starting to worry me. They're starting to lose too many players too quickly now. And Endpoint are about to grab control of this game.
There's one kill from Leaf. There needs to be a lot more where that came from for Vex to win this one, though. Lux smoke out through upper, just giving them that little bit of space to get closer towards the bomb site. Leaf has the bomb right now, but he's looking for further fights. He wants to get more kills before moving into the site itself, and the problem with that is that Endpoint are just sitting back. and just not giving those fights away. So now Volt tries to make the play, tries to close the distance. He gets into an advanced position. The bomb will go down, and Endpoint will just rely on this retake.
Well, Leaf trying his best here, but Connor's trying to move forward. There's another 3K for Connor. 22 kills added to his tally. A 13th round added to Endpoints. And they're now 3 away from taking the second map in this series. Vex, they have done a really solid job of keeping this map competitive the entire way through. It's their time to shine heading into this one out. They don't really have a whole lot of money to play with in this round. They're going to most likely concede a 14th. And then they'll just have to battle back the whole way. They've done it before. We've seen them pull it off on Inferno. We've seen them get it back into overtime after looking so down and out. So we know they're very capable of pulling comebacks, no matter how bad it looks. So don't get too worried just yet. But right now, Endpoint looking very, very in control. And Surreal with a confident play up the ramp. Crucial missing a shot.
He won't miss twice, though. Crucial eventually gets the kill, and he's ready for the player on the right side. Good jump back to safety. Another missed shot from Crucial. He's struggling much more than you might expect, and going back there almost costs him. Luckily, he stays alive, and I think that will keep his team in fine shape. Crucial's movement's still looking good. Finally just puts the molly down, making sure he's safe in that fight. Endpoint almost certainly going to get up to a 14th round win here. Gotta say, it's been hard fought for them. And it's been Connor top fragging for them right now, Dinko. How about that? Connor coming into the team certainly has helped them in a couple of these key rounds here on Train to come back into this. He's definitely been a worthy stand-in. Vex now just going for some sort of desperation play. They'll look for some fights on this A site.
Yeah, Connor has been really impressive, and what? I'm going to clear it up here. Robin and Mighty Max standing tall, 14-11. Endpoint coming into their own now. But here comes the most important round so far. It's Vexed investing, seeing what they can do. Will they stop the 15-11 scoreline, or will it be down and out with their money back in the bid and Endpoint looking to pressure onto a third map? Endpoint have not had it easy. They've not performed at the same level they would have liked coming into this, so I think they'll be very surprised at the performance that Vex have been able to bring to the server. Robin said in the post-game, or should I say pre-game interview, that he didn't really think Vex impressed him that much, right? He felt like this is going to be very comfortable. Well, this has not been that comfortable at all. Overtime map 1, double OT on map 1, should I say, and now we're here at 14-11. Endpoint have just barely edged out momentum here, but this round, it all comes down to this.
Endpoint have got aggressive over at B as well. Surreal's been able to push into the brown halls, so with 4 CTs stacked on this A site, if Vex commit to anything here, they could be running into a brick wall. And Vex won't go back to clear out Surreal's position. That's a problem for them. As this round goes on, Endpoint are going to have more and more certainty, more and more awareness that this A play is likely going to be coming through. Shine is still just looking for this pick up through Ivy. Mighty Max is holding Ivy for a more passive position. Nade goes out. Mighty Max blinded. Forced off the angle. And he can't repeat that position. This is uncomfortable for Mighty Max now. Leaf gets one from above. Looks for more. Mighty Max has got one trade kill back, but he's caught from behind. Trades continuing onto this A site. And Dox has got a great kill. Vex cracked the A bomb site.
Cracked open now. Robin and Surreal trying their best, but Leaf is in with a headshot, and it does leave Surreal alone in the world. A very important round being picked up here for Vexed. They needed this one, and they not only win the round, but they win it convincingly. They only drop one player, 2 kills from Leaf in this one from Volt and Dox between them, and they will be looking at a 12th round added to the tally. 14 rounds for Endpoint, still ahead, but they are going to make a meal out of this game so far. Take a look at the money over for Endpoint, though. A couple of players quite comfortable on cash. Mighty Max and Robin, alongside Crucial with the money in the bank. Connor doesn't really have that much money, but luckily he will be able to get dropped on over. So we'll be seeing a good buy come out from Endpoint. Going into this next round. Surreal trying his best. Very lucky there, it doesn't go down. 14-12. 2 away from victory here for Endpoint, but Vexed are battling back.
Connor gets a scalp drop to him. Max is going to stick with that AWP. He got stuck in a very uncomfortable position in that previous round. Max did. On the back of the red train, got flashed off the angle, had to go back and forth between those two sort of angles. Both close range fights. He still got 1 kill. But it was made much more difficult for him by some nades thrown by Vexed. Similar setup for Endpoint. Surreal's happy to just push over towards that B site again. That information didn't help Endpoint win the previous round, though. Their A players have got to step up on the hold, and this time they have got Connor holding Ivy a bit more aggressively. He's a bit more focused on that position. That might help them out. Volt's going to be able to get down Pop Dog momentarily. Ooh, Robin doesn't seem too aware of it. He's going to put the molly down. That is well timed. Vexter falls back up the ladder. Robin gets back into position. And with a minute left on the clock, Mighty Max is the man looking to make a play.
Well, the Incendiary goes deep into T-Con. Mighty Max holding the angles. Leaf wants to come around this corner. Mighty Max just hanging back. Waiting for this peak, but it's not come through. Instead, he falls off the angle, and Vex, with 35 seconds left, have to decide where they want to go. The only real option here is this A bomb site. They cannot go towards B now, so they fall back for the execute. The smokes come up. Mighty Max getting into a position 1-1, and he misses the shot. Crucial, luckily, will follow up. Mighty Max getting another on this AWP, and the double AWP setup is prevailing right now for Endpoint. They will be walking away with map point unless Dox can step up like a madman. He's just walked away with 2. Now he needs another 2. Needs to double this in a few seconds, and Endpoint realize the time is the factor that has won them this round. Dox walks right into the waiting arms of Connor, who collects his 24th kill, and it's Endpoint at map point, 15-12.
Endpoint reached 15 first here on Train. It's come closer than they would have wanted, but they still have 3 opportunities to close out this map and keep their flawless streak in this season of the Prem going. They are still yet to lose a map in this season of Prem. That's looking likely to continue as long as they can close out one of these rounds. And the double AWP setup is still in play for them, Dinko. So they've got a great chance to try and do that again as long as they can land those similar shots. Now, this time, Surreal isn't playing as aggressively on B. So Robin is fast on the rotation, but Max has got aggressive instead. He pushed up into Ivy to get that first kill.
What? Isaac coming out through Pop Dog. It's 1 kill for Isaac. Connor fighting back with the M4A4, and now there's going to be a man advantage for the CT side. Endpoint looking to close it, looking to send us to map number 3. Vertigo will be coming up next. And their utility at the ready. Vexed look to try and get a 13th round. You need to battle back to overtime. And Surreal on the white train, now pushing forward. 45 seconds is crucial, has made his rotation over to this B bomb site. And the rest of Endpoint coming over here as well. Vex need to be successful getting that bomb down. They need these kills, and they're not coming through. Surreal has just found the bomb, and the kill comes through for Crucial. It's all on Volt, a 1v4, and he is shut out of there. Vex will take a loss here on Train. It's Endpoint up 2 maps. We're looking to see if they can close it as they head into the 3rd. Will they be the champions of the ESL Premiership yet again? Will Vex bounce back after this?
Said I'd find a way to turn my heart into something gold. Knew I sold my soul to the devil long ago.
Endpoint take map number 2 of the grand final. Vexed, they put up a battle, but it wasn't quite enough to get it over the line. Endpoint showing their class, and actually the stand-in doing a lot of the work, Alex. Connor was showing up.
Connor was definitely showing up, and we were talking about this earlier. He should just slot him fine to this Endpoint team. We've seen that be very true for them. Great game from him, great map from him. He stepped up in a bunch of those important CT rounds as well, which I think is what Endpoint needed to get this win over the line. Again, though, Vexed are staying competitive in this series, which I think is about as much as you could ask for from them, right? This is an inexperienced team. They haven't really got too many players that have played that many seasons of Prem before, and yet they're not feeling the pressure of the finals. We're seeing some big individual moments from them. It just feels like they're just a few rounds away, a few moments away from being able to take one of these maps.
I think it just comes down to the depth of the Endpoint individual ability, Alex. When you look at how many players can step up for this team, it's crazy, right? Even if someone's having a bad game, even if the team overall is having a bad match, as long as there's an individual there on the map that can show up, they can get a round over the board, they can get some crucial swing rounds to go their way. And it was crucial, it was surreal, should I say, and crucial on map number 1. This time around, it was Connor doing a lot of the heavy lifting, getting a lot of those multi-kills in that second half that really allowed them to take control of the game and get that later momentum. And I think it's incredibly important to have that for a team like this. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. I mean, they had Connor in this map doing 26 and 18. We had 40 kills dropped earlier on from Surreal. Who is it going to be on this third map? You never really know, but you just know someone is going to step up, and it could be someone different every single map for Endpoint. And I think that's the difference between Vexed and Endpoint right now, is just how deep the individual ability runs on this team. Even if Vexed are doing enough to keep it competitive, keep it close, they don't seem to have that X factor that lets them close it out or lets them get over the line. And it really feels like Endpoint have so many of those players that can do that.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, we haven't even really seen Robin have a great series so far. Normally, I expect him to kind of style on these UK teams because I've seen him do it so many times in the past where he would just play super aggressive. I actually remember a game he played on Vertigo where he was just pushing everything.
Come on.
Millions of gamers rage quit every day. Mountain Dew Game Fuel's got you covered. Game Fuel is specially crafted with ingredients shown to improve accuracy and alertness. Another one saved by Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
Couldn't quite get it over the line against Gambit. So, like you're saying, they do have a lot of matches being played right now, and with different players as well. I mean, in the Prem, they're playing with Connor. They play with Flames in the main sort of events that they play in. And, you know, they've recently just had a roster change over there in their main team as well. So it really does feel like Endpoint just need a little bit of extra time just to kind of relax a bit at some point. And I'm sure they're looking forward to having a bit of a break where they can start to practice up. But we head into map number 3. Endpoint said they're going to take this 3-0, Alex. That's the main prediction from most people, that Endpoint were going to take this grand final in 3 maps without dropping a single one during the Premiership. Can they do it? Vexed on the T side, Endpoint over here on the defensive side, starting off from Vertigo. Map number 3 gets underway.
Let's get it on. Vex getting aggressive early, and Connor's been traded, but Robin is also here, and so is Crucial. He's got 2 kills from that sidewalk position. Robin's there for the final frag, and Endpoint just stacked so many players into that ramp that Vexed's fast play was never going to be working out. As soon as they lost those early fights, they were in a whole world of trouble.
Endpoint up on the pistol round. That's an early start that they need. I got to see Endpoint play the other day. Like I said, I keep mentioning this Gambit gear. That's the most recent showing that I've seen from them. And honestly, it was pretty shaky over on Vertigo when it comes to the CT side. Especially Mighty Max, right? He was getting out-dueled a lot. He was being really punished for this ramp aggression that he likes to do. He usually plays in the position Crucial's at right now, where he'll go for that early fight a lot of the time. He was getting punished quite a bit for that. So that's something to keep an eye out for. I don't think he's going to have as much of a problem individually against Vexed as he did against Gambit, but nonetheless, we'll see if that comes through. That's certainly something to keep an eye on.
Crucial rattling off those shots with the FAMAS. That was a smoke put down by Robin, which I think he can still see over the top of if he needs to. He's actually using it to peek on the right side, rather. And the rifle at range is now going to be falling back. Something worth mentioning is that this is the map these two teams played back in the regular season, back in the group stage. It was Endpoint who got the win at 16-9 back in the regular season. Volt there, landing a good shot. Isaac gets one as well. Now we could be on for something exciting here.
Yeah, you can see Vexed's whole game plan there was to just sit back and wait for peaks to come in from Endpoint, but they haven't checked Mighty Max. No utility going into these sandbags. This is going to be an easy kill for him. 2 picked up. A 3rd from Mighty Max. 4 kills nearly picked up there. Connor stealing the last one. What a huge step up from Mighty Max. They just weren't expecting a 3rd player to be close in the ramp, and they had no utility to clear out the sandbags. They didn't even think about sandbags. Let's be real. And so Mighty Max coming out, finds the 3K, and delivers a 2nd round for Endpoint, but that got a little bit messy, Alex. Don't let that distract you from the fact that there's 2 kills came in from Vexed on that ramp way too easily.
Very patient from Vexed on that ramp as well. I think that's a nice way to play those sorts of rounds, because sometimes a team like Endpoint might just get a little bit eager to go for those fights when they don't need to be going for them. They might stick around a little too long and give you the chance for some kills. They might get the chances here again. Robin's going to hear those players, and everyone from Vexed with their back turned. Finally, Isaac turns around, but it's too little too late. Crucial's got 3 kills with that MP9. That's going to give him a bunch of extra money, and that means he can buy the AWP if he wants it ahead of this first gun round. You're going to take a bonus, though. Keep those SMGs, and you can go aggressive on Vertigo. There's definitely a good reason to keep those MP9s.
There definitely is a good reason for that, and now 3-0 up for Endpoint to start things off. They will be looking to try and get some damage done, but oh my god, Robin's just been caught completely there by Dox. I don't know if Robin didn't see him because of the smoke or what was up there, but he didn't react at all.
Hello, Dox. Sneaking up onto the A site. Question is, can he sniff out those players that are playing near the site itself? A well-timed flash here from Vex could be so good. If Dox just gets flashed in for a fight, that would be ideal. Mighty Max goes for the aggression, though. Surreal's able to trade his teammate. Still a man advantage for Vex, though, as they all start to commit into this A-bomb site.
Bomb plant coming through. Connor has picked up one on that MP9. We're back into a 3v3, and the flank from Connor should have been another kill there. That's a Hawker play if I've ever seen one. And now, well, Surreal starting to run on towards the bomb side. The AK-47 catching out Volt as he extends in the sandbags, and now Crucial down into the 1v2. He's collected the first kill, looking for the final one, but he wasn't aware of where the bomb was planted, and that split second he wasted Shine peeking out and taking him down. The first on the board for Vexed.
Look, Dinko, that MP9 is harder to control than you think, okay? It just fires so fast. It just gets out of control so quickly. I'm not going to blame Connor for that one. I think that could happen to anyone.
Definitely. You know, you could walk up behind someone and just not looking at you completely and completely fluff your lines. It can happen to the best of us, Alex.
Exactly. Wow, Crucial. Missing that shot through the smoke. He came close on it, though. I like that Endpoint are playing a bit more passive on that A site now. They have lost a couple of players there in these rounds. In that last gun round, like you said, Robin just got caught completely off guard. So I like that they're sitting back at the start of this round. And then you always have the option for the re-aggression, right? You see Mighty Max is lining up a flashbang right now if they want to go back for the push and see if they can retake this control. Vex have got quite a few players here, though. So if Endpoint do want to get aggressive, they've got to make sure they clear out all these close corners, which won't be easy.
59 seconds left. There's going to be a little bit of utility being used up now as the attack comes in. Crucial just in behind the smoke. At the meantime, it is going to be one kill from Shine onto Mighty Max as he goes down through the smoke. Robin doing a good bit of work as well. And it's a 4v4 as Vex look to lock in a second round. They'll be doing that unless Endpoint pull off a retake. Yeah, it's going to be crucial down to 43 HP here, of course. Utility coming up. Flashbangs trying to get them into a better position. They'll run forward, sweeping over the bomb site. And Robin just locked in this close corner. Dox has been picked off. Now they run over the top, pushing in towards the likes of Leaf, who will hold on for a good kill. They have a lineup on the bomb. No one's actually on it right now. The kill from corners come through, and they're just running it down. The kills are coming in for Endpoint, but there's no time for the defuse. There's no time, surely, Alex. There's a millisecond on it if he does get this, and it's right down to the second. He's got it. No way. Endpoint take it in the final millisecond on the defuse, Alex, and that is just ridiculously close.
Yeah, in case you were confused at the end there, all the Vex players were dead. It was the HUD messing up because Max, I guess, had lost from the server, which is why we've got this pause now. So they do get those kills. They do get the defuse. About as close as it could have come for Endpoint. But the A-sided retake is successful. The passive play pays off for them. You could see that Crucial wasn't 100% sure either, Dinko. He was getting the hell out of there,
yeah,
just in
running.
case. Yeah, gotta make sure that you are safe. But we will now wait for Mighty Max to get back on the server. So our first technical issue. Whenever you're playing online, this is going to happen. There's going to be someone's internet's going to go down. It's going to be like a dog chewing through someone's Ethernet cable or something, you know.
Come on.
Millions of gamers rage quit every day. Mountain Dew Game Fuel's got you covered. Game Fuel is specially crafted with ingredients shown to improve accuracy and alertness. Another one saved by Mountain Dew Game Fuel.
In there for the Ethernet cable.
That could work.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
it does just leave a hole in the bottom of the door, which is a bit awkward.
So I've come up with a new solution.
All right.
I have put it under there's like a little doormat. I'll put it under the doormat instead. Keeps it neat.
Under the doormat. Wait, so does the cable not need to go through the door?
No.
Oh.
It was just near the door, and it because of
Oh, okay.
how the cable comes is wrapped up in a circle, it kind of unwinds
I see.
weirdly. It's not straight, so
See,
yeah.
my problem is that I had to run the cable like from another room through the patio doors into a different room. That's a hard one to deal with.
Now that is a challenge. But
Challenging times.
Yeah, challenging times it is here in 2020, but we hopefully will be getting Mighty Max back onto the server very shortly so we can interrupt this thrilling podcast of all of our wonderful topics.
Truly.
We will be doing a little bit of a Riz or React at the end of this series, so when the winner is concluded and things are wrapped up, we'll be looking at Twitch chat and reading questions, reading anything that we thought sounds noteworthy or like any questions you guys might have. So if you have any questions you want to ask Hawk or I or any statements you want to put in the chat, we will look at those after and pick out a few and answer some of the questions or comment on some of the statements made in chat.
Now everyone's just going to be asking why I'm so sexy in the chat, Dinko. That's what's going to happen.
Don't you worry, Alex. I don't think that's going to be an issue, okay? We'll be fine. Everyone knows why.
What's next on the Prem podcast discussion list, Dinko?
So it says here on the notice, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol. I mean, that just sounds like a straight up party pooper environment right here for the workers on Vertigo. Maybe they're on strike. That's why. This is what's happened. That they think their treatment, Alex, is just it's unacceptable. So they're on strike and they're actually having a bit of a civil war here.
That's fair enough. That is fair enough. Shout out to CeX for these lovely cams we're getting. He's getting to make the most of them. He's getting to show them all off.
Show them off, yeah.
He's been waiting for this moment. He actually calls this pause just to show off all of his nice cam paths.
Yeah. So caster start game, you can actually put an observer start game this time.
There he is. There he is. Everyone's get that Twitter right now. Write it down, everyone.
Yep. And while you're on Twitter, you can follow me as well. You know, if you want, you can do that, Alex. Shameless plug, of course. But you take a look at what Vexed have done. I want to bring it back to the game and kind of discuss, because this is a good time where we can kind of discuss the overall situation that we're finding ourselves here in this best of 5 final and really set up what you guys can expect here on Vertigo. When you take a look at this map, it's about the Vexed have picked. It's about they feel comfortable on. It's one they've put a lot of practice in. Now, they still come up short, I feel, against the likes of Endpoint, but they've already shown that they have either had a huge elevation in performance today, and that mixed in with, you know, Endpoint kind of underperforming, we can say. And Endpoint recently haven't looked that great on Vertigo. They lost it twice in their 2 previous series. They lost against Gambit, and I believe they lost against Sinners 16-13. So close enough, but still not great performances out of them. Here against Vexed, 16-9 the last time around, that was when Endpoint were just walking through those best of ones. Here in the best of 5 final, Endpoint have struggled. They've had to go to double OT on Inferno. They've had to pull it back on Train. Things have looked rough for them. They haven't been as clean and as clinical as they would have liked to have been. Over on Vertigo, this is where we know Vex can bring a decent enough fight and nearly force double figures when these guys played during the group stages. I hope that we get to see more out of Vexed. I think we've seen a few early signs of Endpoint kind of hanging around the ramp, overcommitting, overextending a little bit there, and that's something Vexed can certainly work with. It's something Gambit did a really good job at exploiting when it came to the Endpoint defense, and something that if Vex watch that game back, will understand that they can maybe do that themselves. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what the T side presents us here for Vex. This is the most exciting half for me to see where they're really at.
It's been a lot of slow plays as well from Vex so far. And like you said, maybe because they know that Endpoint like to get aggressive on that ramp. If you do just kind of hold your default to begin with, you can get pretty good fights in at that ramp position. Even though the Ts, or rather the CTs kind of get the high ground, the Ts do get favorable fights oftentimes just because you can just hold the angle. And it's quite difficult for the CTs to use nades that effectively. Like you can smoke down the ramp, but the flashes aren't quite as easy. And the Ts can use some nades of their own to be able to push up close as well, which is always uncomfortable for the CTs. Let's see if Vex can make Endpoint uncomfortable here. They've only got 1 round so far, but they've shown that they're going to be competitive in this first half, and we are back underway into Vertigo. It could be the last map of the best of 5 unless Vex can start to turn this round.
A little bit of a gap in this smoke to play with through the mid walk. Got Connor just kind of hanging around here, hoping that he can catch them as a walk forward. This is such a good position, right? Because they come around the corner, they're not really expecting you to be up here. So you're down to at least 1, and Connor will get 2. Nearly goes back for a 3rd kill, but he's out of that. I love that position.
Ooh, the B site is under pressure though. Dox is already just walking into B, only with the UMP, but Surreal eventually spots him. Timing not favoring Dox on that fight. Volt is left alone, and even though he's got that first kill, there are 3 more players to deal with. He seems aware that Robin's just switched out a weapon and moved into CT. Volt almost gets it, but Robin readjusts. Endpoint up to a 5-1 lead. Yeah, Connor doing really good work at the start of that round. I think getting those 2 kills is good, but more importantly, he slows them down a fair bit as well. And even though Surreal almost got caught out there on the B site, just slowing Vex down and stopping their fast play was very helpful for Endpoint.
Shine on the ramp with the Deagle, walking through the gap in the smoke, comes around the back side of it. Robin up here with the M4, gets caught. And this is the ramp progression I was talking about that sometimes has gone a bit away for Endpoint. They have definitely lost too many players, and here goes another. Doc's coming up here, Mighty Max taking him down. Crucial's fallen though.
Doc's got that kill just before dying with the D. That was a great shot. Even though the player up close was always going to trade him. I think the concerning thing about this ramp aggression from Endpoint isn't just that they're going aggressive, it's that Robin there is completely alone. And I always think the most important thing when you're fighting for ramp is to be on the same page, be somewhat together in those fights. And now in a 2v3, Vexed actually have a decent opportunity to get onto a bomb site. B is open right now. They've got a good chance to get this bomb down. Winning the round is still going to be a stretch. But even if they just get the bomb plant, they can make it competitive, and they're going to be putting the pressure on Endpoint here.
"30 seconds in play, and the bomb has crossed over to this B bomb site. It can go down, extra money added to the accounts going into the next round, but also in this round, a real chance to win it. Vex want to take a second. You've got Isaac just underneath the boost. Endpoint going to be sending 3 players back into this B bomb site, starting their charge through CT spawn. Ice is in a good position to at least pick up one, but they're so quick around that corner. Mighty Max just swings around with the USP. The kills from the Deagle, it's good for 1, but Vex will lose the round. 6-1 for Endpoint. Money in the bank, though, for Vex going into this next one.
Certainly, now that they've got the bomb plant, they've got so much money. Oh, careful, Connor. Careful jumping off the map. If you time that wrong, you're going to look silly. Gets it right this time in the post-defuse celebration. So 6-1 lead. Vexed will be about to buy into this round, though. So they'll be looking to come back into it. And here is that proper full buy. Shine's got the AWP. They've got full AKs. They've even got some money left over, Dinko. So even if Vex lose this round, they're going to be buying in the next. And it's actually Endpoint who are the ones at risk of maybe losing out on the money side of things. Crucial getting aggressive, looking for a pick with the AWP, but he's not given the fight so far.
Oh, Crucial. Docs hitting the deck now, 4v4. They're going to back up into the A-bomb shot, should I say. Volt tried an ambitious spam attempt to deal out a little bit of damage. But this duel on the B-bomb side could be very interesting. Eyes are wanting to walk forward. He's going to spot the back of Mighty Max. Connor calls for the information that one player's already crossed up, and Mighty Max more aware now, and he will peek alongside Connor for the kill. Leaf catches Connor in transition of position, and he will go down without a kill. Now with 55 seconds... 3v3. And Vex Gaming are going to leave this B-bomb site and try and go somewhere else. Right now, Endpoint trying to figure out what's going on.
Endpoint still have 2 players stacked on B, though. Seems like they're figuring this one out. Flash in. Mighty Max goes for a bit of aggression. Robin's still just playing safe on A. Now my question is, are they going to get the right read on the situation on the Endpoint side of things? They just pushed into B. They think B's clear. Mighty Max is backing away from this B site. Oh no, the timing is terrible. Crucial's rotating away, but that nade gives the game away. Max knows it's the B-sided aggression. Crucial arrives just in time for the kill. 14 seconds remaining. That bomb plant has to come down shortly, but there's a molly on the site. Smoke has to go down. Leaf has to commit to the bomb plant, but they're already pushing his position. He's so low and he doesn't commit to it. That's round over. Leaf has his knife out. He's in all sorts of trouble. He doesn't even die before time, I believe. I think he died after time there because his money's not looking great. That's pretty much the worst possible outcome, Dinko. At least they saved the one gun, but yeah, not what Vex were looking for there.
It's unfortunate. They definitely needed that round, I feel, to get onto the board early. Again, they've got a buy coming in this one, but it is one of those last stand purchases before they face economic deficit again. Galil in the hands of Leaf, AK-47's out for the rest here, and an AWP in the hands of the Norwegian sniper, Shine. Corner, bit of a gap here, and he will get the kill. Opens things up onto Vault, and I'm loving how Connor is playing middle right now. I think it's so exciting to watch. Very proactive, very confident, and CeX getting some aggression going into towards B as well. Endpoint, this proactive play finally is working out for them.
CeX lost that fight towards the B site in one of the previous rounds. In that round where Connor had to rotate over to cover that position. And Max again caught alone towards the ramp. They were trying to set up a flashbang, but that's the risk you run when you're playing that close. Vexed are able to push up in time. Thankfully, Crucial's already fighting back, and it's only Shine remaining. So that one fight going against them isn't going to be too costly. Shine has a 1v4 without the bomb right now. It's just impossible for him. They're giving him fights, which they don't need to do. Shine looking for a lucky wallbang. At this point, he's kind of relying on that. And CeX just gets aggressive. 8-1 for Endpoint. It is going smoothly for the CTs right now.
Eight 1 for Endpoint. They've already won the half. And they've been looking for a little bit more, of course, even in this round, where there isn't a whole lot brought to the table for the Vex side. It is going to be a couple of Tech 9s and Deagles. Pistols can certainly be deadly, though, put in the right situations, and Robin was ready for that, completely ready for it. Shine goes down on the smoke, and that's a good opening kill for Endpoint, looking to lock in 9.
Ooh, good shot from Dox. Connor will be a little bit disappointed. He didn't get that kill on mid this time. Dox was given time to adjust his aim and land the shot he was looking for. Should still be no problem for Endpoint in closing out this round. Vexed will eventually begin to go into this A side of the map. They don't even have that many nades. If they had a couple of smokes, maybe I could see them getting a bomb plant. But Robin is going to get digged. AK in hand, Crucial's here to help. And Dox, another shot connects from him. Oh, Dox! 2 kills onto this A bomb site. He's aware that there might be another man close by, but he's going to commit to the bomb plant, and he gets it down. Now a 1v2.
Oh, a kill for Mighty Max swarms him. That's just unfortunate for Dox. He had a small opportunity to do that to take the round for Vex, but nonetheless, 3 kills, a bomb plant. They'll not be complaining about this too much. 9-1 up, though. They'll be complaining about that. Endpoint in a very comfortable position right now on the defensive side. Vex have not been able to exploit them at all. And here comes a buy again. If Vex lose this round, I'm starting to forget about a chance here for Vexed, because it is just looking so one-sided at that point if they lose this round. The money will be gone again. Endpoint likely at 11 rounds. That's pretty dominant. Vexed are going to show us something here. Good near damage done on towards the bottom of the stairs. Smoke will go out on top of that Molotov. CeX just chilling back at quad right now with the M4. So I'll let Hawker know his microphone has gone to about 1,000,000% before he speaks and blows everybody's ears out. We can sort that out. But nonetheless, Vex at this point, putting that pressure out in towards mid early on, trying to force that CT off the angle, and the utility coming down on towards the stairs. Now Vex turn their attention over towards B.
Hopefully I'm not going to blow your ears out right now.
You're fine now, Holger.
Okay. I fixed it. Good heads up, Dinka. Good heads up there. 58 seconds left. As you said, this B play being set up by Vexed. A couple of smokes into the site, and the player up close could make all the difference here. CeX mollied out, but they're already pushing the site. Dox with the quick entry kill, and CeX instantly traded out. Nice take from Vexed. Having that player so far pushed up at the close wall meant they could quickly get into the site. Dox gets an all-important entry kill, which allows them to isolate CeX, and now this retake is so difficult for Endpoint.
Yeah, man advantage locked in for Vex. There's a good kill for Mighty Max, though. That starts things off well. Dox, though, so good. And it feels like Mighty Max has been blinded for around 10 minutes there. That flashbang was so perfect. And now they're going to start to run forward. Crucial trying to make space here, but Shine has got such a good angle. His 5th kill locked in. Time ticking. Mighty Max going for the hero play and the defuse, and the spray will come through from Vault. Endpoint not getting the round over the line this time. It's Vex to pick it up, and they desperately needed that win.
Nice to see a good set play working for them as well. that gives you a good sign for the future, that they have something that they prepared ahead of the game that's paid off for them. Maybe they have a few more things like that that they can go back to. Early flash over towards B means that Surreal won't be able to get aggressive at the stairs early. He's forced back to a slightly more passive position. Ooh, flash lands right in his face from his teammate. Surreal not fully ready for that. But he does decide to reposition. This same boost coming in. Doc's getting up to this fence position, I guess you would call it. I don't even know what to call that. But Dox is chilling behind it, and Surreal has to be careful here. Gets the first kill, but Dox arrives in time again for another entry kill.
What? Spray coming through the smoke. I think Endpoint will be pretty okay with how things have gone here. You know, the 1-for-1 trade. They'll not be too worried about it. Vexed, same with them. They'll be turning their attentions back over towards A to see what's going on over here. There actually be a lack of info being picked up for the CT side. Crucial is the one player close by. He's going to be holding on for these players to round the corner. He's in the sandbags, and that is going to be forced into the open by the Molotov. Smoke will come down on top of the flames to neutralize its effect, and that does delay the T side longer. Now Crucial waiting for his teammates to help him out here. Flashbang's up from the defensive side. He's doing a really good job of just staying alive here, letting Robin to get into a better position. He goes around the corner with the MP9. Fantastic plays from Crucial. His work is done. He doesn't get a single kill, but he's done enough. And now Vex trying to battle back. Leaf has found a very important kill, and Shine as well on the headshot. Brilliant stuff coming through from Vex. The fantastic recovery. And yet again, Almighty Max versus 3.
Gets towards the site quickly. Might have the chance to tap the bomb, but he's just going to go for fights. He's just going to try and sneak up on them. See if he can catch them off guard with this aggressive play. He won't be able to, though. Leaf was very ready for it. Couple of Vex players look in that direction by the time he goes for the fight. So Vexed have got a third round on the board. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from Vexed, especially with these early plays towards B, where they are getting up close early, where they are getting early kills there. And they're just making Endpoint's hold across the map so much more difficult by getting some early fights to favor them over towards B. They can then come back to A and have an easier time of things. Definitely wasn't an easy round for Vex, but one that they do end up winning fairly convincingly. And that puts Endpoint back down to default pistols. So Vexed were looking pretty far behind. Now they've got a chance to salvage this half somewhat. As long as they can get a few more rounds at the end of this first half, we could be on for another close map. Right now, though, Vex will just be focused on making sure they don't let anything silly happen in this one.
Leaf with the headshot. Doc's burning away Mighty Max. Oh, he's going to go up into Connor's face, dropping him down to 21. Now Vex, need to be careful. Isa with the kill. Leaf following up with another kill himself, and cleaned up by Vex. That's really worrying for Endpoint. They were 9-1 up at this point, Alex, and now we've gone to a situation that this half could just whittle away completely. They could be at a 9-6 scoreline. That's a real possibility. After leading 9-1, you never want that to be the case. You want Vex to have to struggle the whole way through, right? You want to close that out as one-sidedly as possible. 11-4 half is still possible coming in for Endpoint, but it all comes down to this round. If they lose this one, their money is gone, and Vex likely find themselves at 6 rounds, which is pretty ridiculous.
And that would be very, very nice for Vexed. I'm sure they'd be delighted if they could get up to that 6-round mark. Buys slowly but surely coming through as the clock counts down to our 14th round. Penultimate round of the first half. Vexed will be going over towards ramp, seeing if they can get an early pick. Only one AWP on the server right now in the hands of Shine, who's waiting to see if he's going to get any fights. Endpoint have been willing to fight in these previous rounds, and Mighty Max has the AWP. Good kill onto the first player. Crucial waiting in the wings, as is Robin. Great setup from Endpoint. This time, they have multiple players ready to fight the ramp. They completely stop Vexed in their tracks, and Isa has to try and be the hero. We've seen him make some really impressive plays. Some really good rounds happen so far. He's got to win a 1v3, and first, he's got to get that bomb back.
Well, Crucial with the headshot. Isa goes down, and that's going to be 10-4. Last round of the half coming up. Endpoint have given themselves yet another chance to take 11 rounds at this half. It looked like they whittled it away from them. It looked like they got that possibility out. And they've done enough now to pull it back. 10-4 on the board. Vexed, well, they're going to come into this one with approaches. AWP back out for Shine. AK-47's out for the rest. Utility still available. And over here for Endpoint, well, we're looking at another buy that's looking very good for them. Let's take a look at the individuals, because I said coming into this one, I'd be interested to see if there's anybody else standing tall. Right now, it's Robin alongside Crucial, who is currently up there at the top, 19-9. Have a great time here in this map. So I think Robin's a different addition to one of the key players at the top there for Endpoint. So you are getting to see a chop and change a bit, Alex.
Yeah, good to see Robin being up there. Had a quieter series so far than I would normally expect from him. Again, Crucial has these maps sometimes where he can just take over. Seen halves where he gets 20+ kills a couple of times. He's on track to do that right now. Just needs one more to make that happen into the last round of the half. Vexed all grouping up around the ramp early. All focused on getting control of this position. They had some struggles in the last round with the stack that Endpoint went for. This time, though, Endpoint playing much safer. That 3-man nade stack will make sure that Sandbags is clear. Vexed slowly working their way up the ramp. The downside of those 3 nades is now Endpoint obviously know there are at least 3 players towards the ramp, and we're already seeing a response from Endpoint. They're rotating another player over to A and making sure they have players ready in case this is a quick push. And Crucial's the first point of contact, and he's already got the first kill.
Crucial doing a good job to pick up this opening. A 20th kill collected for him in the half. He'll be looking for a little bit more here as well to close it out. Vex charging in at them with the AK-47s. They want to get this round over the line. They want to deliver success and grab a 5th round. It's not the most fantastic half, but 5 is much better than 4 right now. And Connor is making sure that this flank is going to work out for the Endpoint side. Dogs turns back with a headshot. 3v3 yet again reestablished thanks to Leaf's kill. And now another kill from Dox. He's not even committed to the bomb plant. Finally, the nade stack will come in from Endpoint, and that will get rid of Dox. That's the bomb dropped on default, and a 2v2. The pressure mounted here for Vex. They have to commit to the plant. Leaf covering off his teammate. Another piece of utility being used up. It's the Incendiary forcing them back, but now it's just Crucial left in a 1v2.
21 kills so far. 7 health left for Crucial. He has a smoke. He's going to put that on towards the bomb. It's not on the right side, though, and Crucial's going to get caught. 10-5 at the half. Vex salvaging things somewhat, but they're going to have to step up in the second half to stay in this grand final.
Under peach yellow skies, dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by, wishing we run away. All we need is our passports, baby. Leave the rest in our troubled minds. Let us go down and left a bed. as you're mine. I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after.
5-10 at the half. Vexed have a long way to go to come back into this one, but they're going to have to win this pistol to make it happen. You can already see Shine listening for steps. Endpoint not really giving anything away early in this one, though. They're all going to start sneaking their way onto the ramp.
Now walking up the ramp, Utility coming around the corner with the flashes, the decoys coming in just to try and beat out the sandbike player. Make him think it's a flashbang, but here comes the walk up from Endpoint. Smoke into the middle of the site. Full execute in. T-side pistol's looking good. There's no one on the defensive side to cause any problems here. The bomb plant can just come through. They lock in what will be an 11th round here if this retake is unsuccessful. Smoke will go up for Shine. That is going to smoke offshore. And now the rest of the troops start to come on in. Vex sent 5 players into the bomb site, just charging forward for this retake and holding on to Endpoint. Passive positions. They tap the bomb. The bomb was planted out to the right side. So Surreal knows he can watch this. Molotovs come in as well. And this just is not looking good right now for Vexed. This is all crumbling. The time is ticking and they have not got enough control up until this point.
Surreal tapping away, but he knows he just needs to buy time. He's the only man remaining, but he just has to stay alive. There's no time left. Vex get all the kills, but they don't get the round. The one thing they needed the most. At least they survive. Doc survives with literally nothing, but Leaf keeps his Kevlar.
I was just watching Leaf kind of b-hop and show some parkour on the edge of the map there. He's just running along the edge. He survives somehow. That's the most exciting thing there for me, Alex. But 11-5 nonetheless. Endpoint, they win the pistol. Like you said, 11-5 up. They are feeling very comfortable now. This is a very important round for Vex. They've decided to invest into it, Alex.
Keeping some money in the bank, which I don't mind. I think they're making sure they can get that full gun round in case they lose this one. And you still have the Deegs, right? You still have the chance to just land some headshots early. You give yourself an opportunity to win this round. So it's kind of the best of both worlds in that sense. Endpoint, though, have got a couple of MAC-10s ready to chew through these players without armor. It's Leaf up close to begin with. One of the players with Kevlar. Docs without armor tries to make a sneaky play go his way. It's not going to happen for him, though. He's been spotted. And that smoke has a big old gap in it. More damage being done to Docs now. Vex still have players stacked on this site. Docs is going to re-aggress. Nice shot from Docs through his teammate, Surreal Falls. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
Well, the MAC-10 over the top of the site, looking to try and rattle a couple of shots through the smoke as the bomb plant will try to come through here. Robin blinded with a kill. Oh my god, with the Glock as well. Endpoint are done. They want this to be over, just like the presidential election. Took a while.
Topical, very topical, Dinko.
Did last a while, and we'll see how long this game will last as well.
I don't think this game is going to last quite as long. It
Do
could,
not think so.
technically, if we got 20 million overtimes.
I mean, that just reminds me of that one tennis match. I think it was between Rafael Nadal and Federer. The Wimbledon final just kept going on and on and on and on.
I think the longest game ever was between UK teams, I think. With like a bunch of overtimes. Yeah, I think in CS. I think I've seen a picture of it being like 56 something. In case you're wondering why we're not talking about the round, it's because it's over already.
Yeah, so our producer Fraser just said it was a prank game. So
there you go, making history.
Yeah, it was just so bad. No one of the teams couldn't take it out of the line.
Oh, they're so good.
No, that is pretty
so
crazy.
Good.
It just shows how a lot of these teams are actually so evenly matched, right? That's the thing. I think Endpoint have definitely started this game looking like they were meant to be that team to take it over the line, looking easy, but they kind of fumbled the bag a little bit earlier on. But now they're very comfortable. 3 rounds away from victory. They've had enough. They want to close this. Over for Vex, they've got the full buy out here. They're up against 3 Mac 10s and a Galil. So Vex, they have to win this round, Alex. If they don't, well, I don't really know what to say at that point.
Probably won't be much left to say at that point, Dinko. Game will pretty much be over. 3 Mac 10s for Endpoint in this one. As you said, a must-win round for Vexed to give themselves any possible chance. Shine lands the first shot. AWP in play, misses on the second opportunity. No smokes being used by Endpoint. They're just running onto the site itself, and Crucial's able to trade, get the bomb back, and I think he's going to get this bomb down safely. The molly arrives, and now he's got to get off it. That was a really well-timed molly from Vex. Now Endpoint are going to have a much harder time here, but they will go for the bomb plant again. Another molly arrives. This time, though, Crucial gets the bomb down, but it's going to cost him his life.
All the time ticking, and Robin about to round this corner with the Mac 10. Vex want to get onto the bomb site. Utility has gone up into the air. Corner with 1 kill onto Isa. Corner now sits back. A decent position. The Mac 10 from Robin still doing some work, but a 1v2. One of them just needs to stick this bomb. Robin needs to sprint into the open, and it's just a player holding him. That's not going to work out well for Endpoint. 6 rounds added to the tally of Vex. They are not done yet. And will continue to compete here on this map. And will continue to try and get themselves more and more rounds to make this game competitive.
It's going to have to be slowly but surely, Dinko. It's going to have to be a comeback, just like Biden in Pennsylvania. Okay, no, let's stop with these references.
Let's
It's a bit much.
politics. A bit much. Well, it is going 13-6. CeX, 3 rounds on the board. Itchy Grid going out in front of him. And it's going to do a little bit of damage now, as they will look for the Itchy Grenade out towards middle. Connor just sitting back. Flash deploys out to the right side. Endpoint looking to just take their time here. They know that the last round was a bit of a bonus. This is the important round now. They have to focus up. They're a team that do not want this to slide. They want to take control of this and to settle the pace out on the server. Shine is just going to be holding on for this peek around the corner, but nothing has come his way, and now Doc's up on top of the boost. The utility is now flying past his head. He's in a good position. The flashes continue to raid on in. Shine has got 1. Crucial doing a little bit of work as Doc swings now. He'll get 2 kills, nearly a 3rd. And now, well, Surreal and Crucial, a 2 versus 3. Endpoint are being broken apart piece by piece. And it's all falling down here. 3 versus 1. Crucial is left.
And the jump will spell his death. Nice round from Vex there. Doc's on that elevated position, getting an early kill. It's nice to throw that in every now and then, just a complete off angle, which teams can overlook. It's a difficult spot to play, which is why you probably only want to play there maybe once, twice a half, most. But it works out occasionally just to get that one important kill to distract the opponents, to draw the attention away. And I think considering Vex are so far down, I want to see more plays like that, where you just kind of go for something that is a bit risky. It's not always going to work out, but if it works, it can really help you win another round and really get back into this game. Because right now, you've got to take some risks if you're Vex. You're down 13-7. It's getting a little bit closer, but it's still a long way to go. And I think if you just play your standard game, it's probably unlikely you're going to win all the rounds to come back. So I like that Vexed are throwing a few cheeky plays into the mix. Let's see if they've got anything planned for this round, though, because Endpoint have already got themselves up into the ramp, and Vex money is still on the verge of being broken. They've got to make sure they keep up these round wins.
Endpoint starting to walk on in towards the site. Leaf has boosted over the top. He's got a little bit of a gap over the top, and he will spot Mighty Max. There's the headshot that draws them an advantage in favor of the defense. They can go back in for this retake feeling confident. So much damage has been done, and another kill collected. Endpoint are not looking good in this post plan.
Smoke being lined up by Volt. Still plenty more nades for Vexed as well. Flashes at the ready. Molly goes into the sandbags. Aggression coming in from Endpoint as they play up close to the bomb site, but Crucial is in a 1v4 behind this smoke. Good headshot onto the first player, but as soon as he spams the smoke, he's going to get 3 players spamming right back at him. Isa lands the final shot. Vex convert another round win. And I don't want to get too excited, Dinko, but It's starting to look like we've got a game on our hands here.
Well, it's certainly looking like it's going to be less one-sided, Alex. We're starting to see Vex come right back in and show a little bit of life in the team, and potentially even a few more rounds added to the tally here. But this is not going to be a round we look at as a competitive one. Surely on paper, with Endpoint running into it with the pistols, it should be a round for Vex locked in. 13-9, then we'll see the buyout from Endpoint again. And that's where we really start to see whether or not this game is on. A few more rounds to play out yet before I'm confident in saying that, Alex. But right now, Vex at least showing the right signs.
Pistols sneaking their way up the ramp. As long as Endpoint get those 2 smokes onto the site, they've got a pretty decent chance of the bomb plant. They even have a 3rd smoke, which could be used to extinguish the molly if Vex tried to play that passive setup again and try to deny with those nades. 2 smokes arriving on the site. It didn't look like they were 100% on point. There is a little bit of a gap, but oh, surreal! Great shot through the smoke. That's going to help them get this bomb down. There is that molly in play from the CTs, but I think eventually Endpoint will be able to punch in the digits. There's another molly for Vexed. It's not been thrown yet, though, and Endpoint are running out of time here on these smokes. They've got to get this bomb down, and Robin finally will.
Bomb planted, the crossover, and the kill through the smoke delivered from the M4A4. Now Volt starting to come out and towards the site. The 4 versus 4 indeed in play, and Leaf will be catching himself crucial, but Mighty Max on the flank. The Tech 9 delivers 1 and a second as well from Mighty Max. Surreal tries his best, but he's on 2 HP, going for the shot to the smoke, the defuse. It's so close, but he runs out of ammo. The night kill comes through to seal the deal, but the round has already been won, and Vex will find a 9th. This round was right down to the final nail there, Alex. 1 stray bullet would have been enough, and now, well, it is 13 on the board for Endpoint. 9 rounds for Vexed. 1 more, and it'll be double figures. If they win this round, Alex, it truly is on.
Getting into dangerous waters for Endpoint now. Into uncharted territory for them. I say that, so far in this series, we've been here a couple of times. Vexed have not been able to close out either of the first 2 maps, even though they were close. This time it's been a comeback, but Crucial gets the first kill, spots the head of Volt for a split second, and he's got the second headshot. 2 AWP kills onto the B site. Crucial's had enough, Dinko. He wants to win this round, and he's going to do it single-handedly. They've got to save. The CT money's so bad, they have to save this, Dinko.
They have to at this point. If they want to have a chance at moving forward and competing in these next few rounds, they've got to have as many weapons as possible and as much money as possible to make it competitive. Endpoint will be up 14, yes, but Vexed have got to save into this next round. They can still win in regulation. They can still win this. It's just very unlikely right now as Endpoint are reaching ever closer to yet another ESL Premiership Championship title. Endpoint have won this title more than any other organization in its history. Feel like it's just the Endpoint trophy at this point, Alex. If you look at the trophy, I'm sure the engravings just pretty much say Endpoint, 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 Endpoint. I wonder how many times they actually have won it. Let me have a look here. Statistically, I can't really exactly remember the right number, but I'll have a look.
Have a little look-see. Well, unfortunately for Vexed, they are probably not going to be looking at that trophy right now, especially with this buy. Shine's got an AWP, and he's missed his opportunity on the opener. That would have been such a nice kill to get. He's still sticking around at the ramp, looking for an early fight, looking for an early kill. Mighty Max is sneaking up close here, though, and Shine's just thrown a smoke and a flash. Max can just swing on this. He's going to swing on the angle. The AWP's been dropped, and Vex's chances of winning this round have been reduced dramatically with that weapon gone.
Connor with the 2 kills. Robin able to find a headshot onto Leaf. Oh, look at this spray away, looking for this final kill, but Doc's able to do a little bit of work at least, but it's 15 rounds locked in for Endpoint. They are one away from victory yet again, Alex. This will be their 4th time in a row winning the Premiership. That's kind of wild. One organization dominating over the entire UK scene. We've had teams that have come close to them, Vexed mainly. We've had Fierce in the past trying to do some damage, but nothing has been able to topple Endpoint, even in the previous Premiership finals, Alex, when it was on LAN. When we didn't have this whole pandemic problem. Even when Endpoint came into with a roster that weren't exactly favored to win, they still ended up picking the titles up. So, yeah, it's just something about this team, something about Mighty Max as well. This guy just keeps winning prems.
He does, and he's 1 round away from another one. Crucial, trade onto mid early, into a 4v4. Vexed, working with whatever the hell they can get in what could be the last round of this final. Shine's got the M4 out, the rest of the players with pistols, and Dox is just looking to get aggressive on the edge of this smoke, just looking for a timing play, looking for a little bit of luck, hoping that they don't expect this position. Dox still waiting in the wings, looking for the shots, and he gets the first kill, he gets the second! He doesn't realize Connor's up close, but he's done enough to give his team the lead.
They have a real chance at keeping this game alive. That's Volt, Leaf, and Shine left in this one. I'll try their best to pick it up, but Endpoint still with 2 players alive, still 2 rifles in play, trying to get this round over the line, trying to get the championship added to them yet again. Volt peeks out to the right side, has the information that this play will be coming into the B bomb site. Volt holding on to the right side, Surreal being tagged down to 30 HP. Volt trying to get the kill, and he's got it. Now it's just Surreal. 1 versus 3. He's got to pull off a huge clutch, and it won't happen. Endpoint will have to survive a little bit longer as Vex keep coming at them.
The wheels keep on turning in this car called Counter-Strike. I don't know what that means, Dinko. I just thought it sounded cool. As soon as I said it out loud, it didn't sound as cool, but you get what I mean. We're still going. Vex get another round win. Endpoint now 5 grand final points on their hands. They've still got a goodbye on their side of things, but this gives Vexed a chance to get a goodbye of their own, and Dox is trying to make a similar play to the previous round. This time thinking of going up close to the left side. Instead sits in the middle of the smoke. There should be a flash at the ready, and indeed there is. Dox diving through the smoke for the first and the second kill. The UMP finally shut down by the pistol of Crucial, but it's another round where Dox has given his team the early edge.
Connor around the corner. A couple of shots rattled up in towards heaven. Molotov will clear out that boost position. Volt now sitting at green. The generators will be his cover, but Connor comes in behind it. Over the top of construction, Volt will turn around, catches his head. Follow-up kill for Isa, and Crucial now alone. A 1v4, and a round that he will not be able to win here, Alex. This is just not looking likely for the Dutchman. 32 kills, 16 deaths. What a beast this man has been across this series, but even this seems a little too far for his skill set.
The flash is going to mean he is
That is
completely
perfect.
screwed, yeah. Doesn't even get a chance. Vexed are not going to give him any opportunities. They know how good this man could be. We've seen it throughout this series. It's aggression, though, working wonders for Vexed right now. Back-to-back rounds where Dox gets away with the early aggression. Now, Endpoint can still buy, but it's starting to show that they've been losing some rounds recently. They've got a Mac 10 for Mighty Max, a Tech 9 for Connor. I think this time round they're going to look for the early ramp control. They don't want to let Dox get away with that aggression again. Looks like Endpoint will be able to get themselves towards ramp early. They're just going to take their time here. Vexed still looking for further round wins. Crucial still just holding off onto this side, waiting for the aggression. This time, though, Vexed are sitting safer, but they do have players ready to fight close by if needed.
Molotov will clear out the sandbag. Smoke deploys immediately on it. Molotov will hold off the Endpoint players at the moment. Dox is down to 40. A lot of damage being done and received from both teams. Crucial's down to 52. Connor taking a little chip off that as well.
Very slow round from Endpoint. Taking their time here. 50 seconds left. As it stands, the B site is by far the weakest of the two. There's no one really committed to the B site itself. Volt is having to watch both mid and B right now, and Vexed realize they can't let that continue to be the case. Vexed are rotating players back to B, back to mid. They're leaving the A site quite vulnerable though. Max is selling this fake on B while the bomb goes back to A.
Leaf peeks out from sandbags. Kill onto Robin. That'll be the bomb dropped as well. They're going to have to try and recover that Volt with a headshot on this B bomb site. Mighty Max is gone, but Crucial and Surreal pulling a couple of kills back. This defense has to hold. Endpoint are coming over to this A bomb site. They look to try and close it. A man down, which makes it very difficult here. They have to commit to the plant and running forward. Volt, what a beast! What a beast he has been! Another 3 kills collected for him, and he'll get the defuse as well. 12 rounds added to the board for Vex. They are not done yet and are 3 away from overtime. The money comes through that from the bomb plant, but it's still not enough to be a comfortable buy here from Endpoint. If I'm Endpoint, I still don't feel great about this buy, but nonetheless, they're going to go for the purchase. Just a little a note here as well, Alex. When you take a look at things, the last time there was a Alden Premiership, it was in 2017, and Endpoint won that as well. So they have a real chance to pick this one up, and they'll get both Autumn series under their belt that have been played in history.
I'm sure they'll want to keep that up. To do so, they've got to win one more round, though, and so far it's not coming through for them. It's been really fun to see Vexed as this plucky underdog, always hanging in there, always keeping it close, never giving up without a fight. Even when it looked like their money was screwed, they still stayed strong, and now Dox has been able to get an early kill in this one. He is traded by Crucial. Max could now pick up a gun, and Crucial with a great kill. 2 entries onto this A site. That could make all the difference, Stinko.
Well, it's looking good for Endpoint. It looks like they might have just done it. Leaf and Isa left alone. And Isa touched that Molotov, now running forward. Surreal turns and finds him. Just Leaf now between Endpoint and their title. 6 this will be. 4 in a row. And Leaf is going to be there with a headshot. Surreal hitting the deck, and now Leaf looks to try and stay alive, but it will not happen. Endpoint will take yet another Premiership title. This organization has won more than any in the UK scene. The last 4 in a row now, Alex, as well. CeX have tried, Fierce have tried, Wind and Rain, and now we've had Vex trying to take down the Titans of UK Counter-Strike, and it's not gone their way.
And even though these were close maps here in the grand final, they keep their undefeated streak throughout the entire season. They didn't drop a single map. You can't ask for more than that, Dinko. Even if the maps come close, who the hell cares if you're getting the wins? Even though they had to get the heroic plays, they did it every time. Back on Inferno, Robin having to go through that massive hole. Crucial with a bunch of rounds as well. Here on Vertigo, they had to pull through towards the end of the game to get the round wins. But they do it, they get the win, and Endpoint just proving that they are the best in the UK right now, but they might have some challenges coming up and rising through the ranks.
Yeah, definitely. I think the scene as a whole is starting to really progress. Some of these younger players coming up are looking hungry. They know that this system has resulted in a lot of players getting careers in Counter-Strike, right? We've looked at Mezzi. He's gone on to play for Cloud9. We've looked at Adam playing in Gamer Legion, Smooth. We know these players can go through this system now with this Pro Tour. They can go and play at DreamHack. They can go and find themselves playing these qualifiers. Vex will grab that climber spot as well, X, which is very important to realize as well, so that they get something out of this, because Endpoint already are an MDL. So the climber cup points go towards Vex. They get that spot. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do, honestly, because this team, the more experience they get, it really does feel like that was the only limiting factor for them here. Was some of the moments where they just didn't really have experience, right? They didn't have the X factor to close out Inferno. They kind of choked it on Trade a little bit. I definitely seen a very good sign for this Vex team, though.
For sure, especially as a team that we